Hey there, RemPCs. Welcome to Rules of Cool, where we interview very special guests, creators, gamers, designers, and world builders. I'm your host, Rem, and today we'll be chatting with Zynga's senior game designer, Erik Wahlberg. We have a fantastic giveaway of a Shadowrun 6th World Core Rulebook PDF, and you can type hashtag RemPC in the chat for your free entry to win. And the drawing will be done at the end of today's rebroadcast of Emerald Glitch coming up right after Rules of Cool. You can also get bonus entries to win by donating bits or subscribing. Every 100 bits gets you an extra entry to win, and subscribing gets you 7 whole bonus entries. Now, in Rem Alternis news, if you are looking for all-natural soaps, lotions, potions, and more exciting alchemical wonders, look no further than Pure Alchemy Soaps. Specializing in handcrafted RPG-themed soaps with unique fragrances that perfectly encompass who your character is in any campaign. Check out the link in the chat below to get your own. Persephone is now available on BackerKit Pledge Manager for pre-order. The prolific science fiction author Kevin J. Anderson has teamed up with film producer Jeffrey Morris to bring you this story of space travel and human survival. Check it out now to get your copy and other awesome rewards. Embark on a nostalgic journey with Dear Pen Pal Belgium 1980, a captivating Kickstarter project by award-winning author Jennifer Brozek. Immerse yourself in 24 heartfelt letters mailed to your home and penned by a fictionalized 10-year-old Jennifer, navigating the challenges of a Belgian school in another country, all while maintaining a vivid imagination and befriending a ghostly companion. Follow the project to get notified on launch by clicking the link in chat. Now, time to get right into our conversation for this week, so stay tuned, RemPCs. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to our special guest today. How are you, Erik?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks, Rem. Really appreciate being here.
I'm excited to talk to you.
I have not talked to you since I saw you at GaryCon last year. When we did that little show that we didn't get to finish, as you recall.
Did we not get to finish it?
Yeah, so there was a key member was sick.
That's right. That's right.
But I had fun playing with you. So
I had a lot of fun too. That was a blast. We got to play in Actoroki, right?
Yes.
Yes, which is also a Gen Con TV staple with Sarah Moore. And it's basically like you get to run and play in a D&D game, and then it's scripted and the actors perform it out. So you get both the around the table feel and the actual like cinematic style.
Yeah, it's a really cool show.
I like your background too.
Thanks. It's from the game I'm working on. I work. So I guess get right into that real quick. So my current job, I'm a senior game designer at Zynga. I work on Game of Thrones Slots Casino.
What?
So you'd be like, what? But it's extremely popular, and they do a great job integrating the IP. And my role specifically, I just started last November, is designing a lot of events and kind of adventures that are connected to the slot games.
Cool.
And so this behind me is one of the events I didn't create, but it's got a cool image. It's called Loot Train. But yeah, and it's very fantasy, and we're doing, TTRPG talk. So I thought it was a perfect background to kind of bring it all together.
That's awesome. I love it. Anything Pro Dragon I'm in for. Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear, gosh, so many cool things that you get to do and work on. So let's dive in. So the first thing I usually like to ask about is, what is your history as a gamer? How did you get started?
And you mean gamers and TTRPGs, of course.
I mean, whatever gamer means to you. Yeah, take us on a journey.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about TTRPGs. And that I was 10 years old, and a friend of mine named Kenny McClellan, very nerdy and I'm so thankful that he was. And he said, "Hey, I got this new game. I want you to play with me, right?" So I went over and we went into the living room, and he had a few miniatures out, and I'd never seen like kind of these lead miniatures before. Set a few out, and he had a couple books, and he said, "Okay, here you're gonna be this elf, and these are some orcs. Roll this dice." And I rolled, and he said, "Okay, now roll this dice," and I rolled my damage, and it was damage. He knocks down one of the orcs, right? And says, "Okay, you killed it." And immediately I was like, "Oh, what? This is amazing!" Like just that concept of being interactive with this whole environment, I was super excited about. And then played from 1977 all the way, to probably the mid 90s when my friends kind of split up. I played other TTRPGs, as you'd imagine, during that time, but I absolutely loved it. And D&D is such a huge part of all the things that I do in my life as far as hobbies and careers. It's been such an amazing way to open up all those creative juices and kind of make your brain think a certain way, as well as have wonderful, wonderful memories with friends that you can remember so well.
That's
So
awesome.
that's a very fast track version of it. But basically, I've been playing since '77, and now I like to play in kind of the upper level hobbyist kind of experience. So like the Dwarven Forge, and as you know, like to do the show with the cosplay and all that, and really get fully immersed and just have just the best time with the best people. So
That's so cool.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, based on that story, I might have a guess, but you could prove me wrong here. What's your favorite RPG?
Definitely still Dungeons and Dragons, but for 10 years, by far I was playing, and I was actually running the game. I was game master. It was Champions, which is of course the originally it was its own game system, but then it became Hero Systems, which you're probably more familiar with that.
Yeah.
And just loved it. It was such a fantastic, to me, well balanced way to have a variety of superheroes and have them all mesh well, and you can kind of have almost anything you want. And it was balanced, and it had all the disadvantages and advantages, and got to roll tons of dice. So it was that's my other favorite. I played plenty others, but those are my two:
Cool.
D&D and Champions.
Awesome. Neat. All right. So,
What can I ask you? Real quick?
oh yeah, what?
So what are your favorites? So
Oh,
I know
cool.
what you run.
I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, I'm flipping the script here. So I know what you run, and I know what you have a lot of expertise in. But what turns you on the most when you get to play? When someone says, "Hey, you want to play with me?"
It's the role play. It's the story. It's the characters. It's the world.
So it doesn't matter to you as much.
Well, yeah, the system isn't as important to me, and as much as I think it's pretty well known at this point. The Shadowrun is my favorite.
Okay, so for sure it is. Yeah, I assume.
Yeah, but it's because of the richness and the depth of the lore and the world more than, gosh, it wasn't until honestly 2023, just this year, that I actually read the rule book, and like I picked things up from like, tell me what to roll. Okay, this and this. All right, I get it now. But it's such a crunchy system, and I am not a rules brain person. So like I have to buy in different ways, and I just fell so in love with the complexity and depth of the lore.
Yeah, that's cool. It's another interesting thing and cool thing about TTRPGs is they turn people on in so many different ways, right? Like you said, like just totally loving the lore, or in a way you also mentioned the role playing with friends or all that stuff. But there's so many cool things about it that I could see why it's still so popular. As we know, D&D 50 years old now, right? It's still this whole genre is still thriving. That's wonderful.
One of the things that I gotta say I love about being able to do this show with, for those who don't know, Tyler is our producer, and he's wonderful, and he does all the hard part for me now. So he does all the research and comes up with all the questions, dives deep into each of our guests. So since this is like outside of actually playing, one of the first times we've been able to talk, I get nice surprises when I read the questions.
Hmm.
And so one of the ones he has for me is, we don't often get to see game design and fitness come together. What does that mean? Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me the
Yeah.
things.
So the cool thing about sharing this is it is still connected to D&D, and I'll explain it in a second. But I started doing martial arts when I was like 13, and then kind of fell out, got back into it when I was 16. And so I've now been practicing martial arts for 40 years. And along the way, I'm going to make this, it's an hour-long show. So I'm going to, not go too long. But I was at a gym, and a gentleman had a boxing fitness class. And I usually didn't join, kind of group exercise classes at that time. So, okay, I could do that, And so I was like, wow, this is a great workout. It's a lot of fun. And I was like, I could probably add kicks and do something like this myself, and because it's fun. And so I ended up taking his class for a long time and then subbed for him. And then I said, I do like this. And I'll make the long story short. I taught for about 15 years at different gyms, just my own kind of brand of that. And then after a while, I said, hey, you know what? I can do this until I'm too old to do it anymore, or I can open up a small gym because I had a following. And so that's what I did. It's a fitness kickboxing boutique gym. We have like 50 bags and like just one big space. But the reason it's connected to D&D is this. D&D is kind of built my path to be able to be a designer, to be able to think that way. And so that's for my career. But then because of that, when I opened up my gym, I think of it as a game experience, which could be like a lot of TTRPGs as well. We walk in the door. How does it feel the first time you do something? Is it intuitive? Is it fun? When you have these other moments, is it exciting? How do you feel when you're done? How is your interaction with the environment, which is us, the staff, right? And so I try to have these really exciting kind of experiences for people, and we thrive that way as just a really fun place to work out. So it is connected to D&D because I did try and make it like a creative endeavor. So yeah, and I live in the Bay Area, so it helps to pay bills. So there's that. And then my daughter also teaches there, so kind of bringing her up and do it as well. Yeah, so that's that part. And then the video game part, that could be a longer story, shorter one, but essentially.
Fitness too?
I'm sorry?
Video games tie into fitness for you as well?
Well, so the video games, I probably talked a little bit too fast, but when I started becoming a video game designer, that led me into thinking about how I would run the gym experience, which is like a video game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like that. I that would be very important to me as someone who works out by lifting food to my mouth. I even last night, so I left Toronto today, but there's a trampoline gym that my friend is a coach at. So he took me there and we just started jumping on the massive trampolines.
It's exhausting.
And, it's exhausting, but it's fun and it doesn't feel like working out. Where working out to me is like when I'm in pain, sweaty, breathing hard, and going, I hate my life. That's what working out is mentally for me. And so if you can gamify it and make it something that's a challenge or leveling up or that kind of thing is definitely something that would rope me in deeper.
Yeah, and so you spoke exactly to kind of the reasoning behind what I was mentioning with my gym is it's not fun to work out for most people. I mean, some people are crazy. And I also know that although a lot of people like martial art movies and want to do stuff like that, nobody wants to get punched in the face. So we have a super friendly, fun environment where people just do cool moves. Cool. You're holding paddles for each other, kicking the bag, but nobody's fighting each other. And it's just fun. And then you forget because you have like an 8-move combination that you're working out, right? You're like, I just got to remember to put these pieces together. And so, yeah, like you said, make it fun so they forget. And then all these wonderful people who want to exercise, but just have too many barriers, part of which being that it's not fun. Now they'll do it. Now that's part of their lifestyle, right? So
neat. Yeah. I like that a lot. I love that gamification. In college, I loved rock climbing. Those rock walls, our rec center had a big rock wall. And it was like, to me, it was the challenge of getting to the top. Like I had to get to the top. And so I wasn't thinking like, oh God, one more rock to move up, right. The goal of like, I got to kill it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I was always just following. I could never So I'm impressed that you were able to do that. It's great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's neat. I really like that idea, and inspired to incorporate some of that into my own life. So, what was your favorite era of video games?
So I would probably it's really a trip because now there are so many wonderful game developers and game systems are top notch. But I think the purity and the nostalgia and hitting just the right kind of ability to create and design great games, I would go back to the 90s with like the Genesis era, which is when I started working at Sega way back in the day.
You worked at
And
Sega?
I did it for 6 years. Yes.
Wow.
I loved it. It was so fun. It was really very exciting.
Neat.
Yeah. And so because back then you would buy a game and the game would be the game. It wouldn't be like, well, we'll patch it for you and some things are missing and you have to buy this DLC to play these other characters. It was just the game because
Yeah.
that's the technology back then. And so you have these, these cartridges and later on, some discs, but it was great. And there, a lot of the games were the first of their kind as well. A lot of games now, like RPGs, they certainly do evolve, but they're not a whole lot different than they made back in the 90s and things in their kind of their structure. And so there's a lot of things that were new back then too. But yeah, so I would say 90s. But I have great memories all throughout. I would say because the first system I had was Pong. It was
Oh
like
wow. Yeah.
1976, I think. It was just the little knobs, right?
Yep.
You play this computer, and then you get your dad and play with him. But yeah, so it was the 90s. I love the 90s stuff, and it's there's a lot of cool memories with that stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. 90s video games was definitely my time. I was the kid that when Mario would jump, I'd jump with him, like,
Mm.
or
Oh
my
yeah,
arms
or
would
doing
move.
this, trying to steer
Yeah.
like you're flying or something, right? Oh yeah, that's the best, man. It's the best. And I think the other thing too is because nowadays everything's spoiled and everything's out there that when you get a game, a lot of times that experience is all fresh and new to you.
Yeah.
Because everything's like let's plays and all these previews and people talking about stuff and there's no secrets anymore. And back then it was hard to find secrets because you'd have to they literally had, as you may or may not remember, they had strategy guides you would buy. You'd pay like $10 or $15 for a strategy guide that nowadays obviously no one could ever sell anything like that because it's
Yeah.
just all people just put stuff up there. So yeah, there's a lot of discovery and a lot of really good co-op couch games
Yeah.
because everything there's a lot of online co-op, of course.
Yeah.
But I played one of my best friends happened to be I met him at Sega. We played everything, like all the co-op games, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Madden, Soldiers of Fortune, on and on. We had such a good time.
So hot take.
Yes.
I'm gonna start controversy here on the internet.
Ooh, yeah.
Is Sega your all-time favorite console?
The Genesis?
Yeah.
I would, if it's not the Genesis, it would have to be the PlayStation 5.
Oh wow! I
If
didn't
it
even
wasn't,
expect that.
well, I have great memories of the games, but I'm enamored with what the games could do now.
It's true.
Like you see Baldur's Gate 3 as an example, but
Yeah.
there's some beautiful games. But again, I go back to the nostalgia. But the two parts about the 90s that are not just nostalgia was the co-op couch games. You can barely find them nowadays. And then the fact that the games were not, crap that they would then patch 3 months later and try to justify you buying it ahead
Yeah.
of time, right? So those are two things that stood out for me.
Neat. I'm Team Xbox myself.
Ah,
So
wonderful. Yeah,
yeah.
wonderful. I mean, we're a family. There's some people are like, oh, pro this or pro that or anti this. I like everything.
I like the fun rivalry. I don't like when people take it seriously.
Oh yeah, it's silly. It's silly. We're all just having fun, right? It's
Yeah. Yeah, we're all playing.
Yeah.
So when did you first break into game design?
So when I was at Sega, I was a tester at first. I was in QA, And I didn't even think I was going to
Rough
work there.
job.
Yeah, it was super cool. So I'll give you, I guess we're doing pretty good on time. So
Yeah.
my roommate, he was the proverbial slacker. He would get temp jobs. He would work them until they were over and get unemployment as long as possible, and then get another temp job. He would rinse and repeat. And so I worked at a grocery store for 7 years, and then it closed down. And he said, "Hey, Sega, I'm working at Sega as a tester. If you want to join us." I was like, I guess. Like, I'm not an engineer or an artist or anything, but I was like, okay, I guess, the pay's not going to be that great, but I'll do it. So first day I get there and I see all this, Sonic the Hedgehog and just all this swag everywhere on the walls. And it's like, wow, it's so cool. The energy was really high. And they set me in a room with another tester, and we played Streets of Rage 2. And after playing it for like 5 hours, I turned to him and said, "I can't believe we get paid for this." It was like the coolest thing ever. It
Yeah.
was literally like you just said. It was that fun. And so, but I still didn't think I was going to stay. And so one day I was there maybe like a month or so. I was walking by some cubes. A game producer had, again, open cubes. He had all these fighting game characters up on the wall that were drawn by Ernie Chan. I found out later, who did Conan the Barbarian in the 90s. And he had stacks of martial art training videos as well. And so, as a fan of Street Fighter, as a martial art guy, I said, "Wow, what are you doing?" Right? He was gracious enough to say, "Oh, I'm working on a fighting game called Eternal Champions." And I said, "Oh, well, I told my background. I said, I'm interested just to help if you need anything, because I would just be fun to do it. I could do my spare time." And that was enough to impress him that he made me an on-site tester, because the developers off-site, which then led into becoming an assistant producer, etc. And then now I'll get to answering your question, which was going from tester to assistant producer to producer. I was able to do game design on the second iteration of Eternal Champions, which is called Eternal Champions for the Sega CD. It was called Challenge from the Dark Side. And I redid the combo system, the fighting system. I created some character moves, a bunch of special moves. And so that was my first kind of inauguration into that. So that was 1994.
Cool.
1995, yeah. So that's when I started.
That's awesome.
And then, yeah, I'm a producer designer for the next 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So started with Sega.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
So next I went to Electronic Arts. And I was lead. So one of my proudest achievements, and again,
challenge everything.
Yeah, everything is a team effort, and a producer or designer without a team is useless. So everything is a team. But I was proud of that I was lead designer and associate producer on Knockout Kings 2000-2001, which is now known as Fight Night. They changed the franchise name. And it was a blast to be able to be the designer on that game, and it did really well. And did that for a couple of years, and then jumped around a little bit, came back for about 9 years. I was there again at a casual game division of EA called Pogo. And then the other bigger names, so people who don't follow gaming as much might be bored. The bigger ones I worked at Bandai Namco. So like, Pac-Man, I worked there for about 2.5 years. And then Cryptic would be the other one people might know, because Cryptic has Neverwinter Nights. Yeah. And then currently Zynga, which is a mobile game company. It's a wonderful place to work, and it's walking distance from my house. And with 3 kids, it's a perfect kind of work-life balance. So that's kind of where I am.
That's so cool. I never even considered. I get so excited if I happen to see a friend or something on TV or in a movie, or see their names in the credits or something like that. And who knew I could have gone and played some of my old games and seen you pop up.
Yeah. It's cool because people did make those games, right? So it's like, oh wait, and there's been a big resurgence in the last few years of the retro gaming stuff, and so I've been, and not because I'm special, but just because of where I worked, I've been interviewed about half a dozen times in different YouTube and Twitch channels that are all about retro gaming, because you want to know what it was like and all that. And it's great because back in the day, you couldn't share that stuff. There was no way to do that. And nowadays you can talk to people, tell us what it was like making this game, or we heard about this controversy that happened between Sega of Japan, Sega America. Tell us, your take on it. And so it's a lot of fun for people that never had a chance to really learn that stuff.
Is it, do you think it's more exciting or anxiety inducing when you have a game like this that you've worked on, that you've designed, that um, that's rolling out, and you're like, it's either going to do really well or be a flop, but I'm excited for the world to access it, but oh god, like
Yeah.
how is that balance?
Each person probably a little different. I I usually had a good inclination as to how well it might be received ahead of time, and so it's a matter of, will they like it as much as I think, or will it be as bad as I think it is? It's kind of one of those things. So it's almost like you're riding that train, and you already kind of know where it's going, and so you might feel the anxiety while you're working on it,
Yeah.
or feel the excitement as you're working on it. Like, I can't wait until people play this because I know they're gonna
Yeah.
love it. Or oh yeah, geez, I wish. And that's where, in any career, and I'm sure this happened for you a lot too, is that you try things for the first time, or you make mistakes for the first time. You say, learning experience, and you try and get better.
Yeah,
And so,
totally.
because on the games that I worked on that weren't so great, as a producer, because I was usually the person who's kind of in charge of the game as well as kind of the vision of it, I had something that I probably could have done to have avoided some of the problems. And
Okay.
so that's where, you go, okay, learning experience. Luckily, most of them were just being inexperienced,
Yeah.
like trying to juggle. Like, I took on, when I was towards the end of my career at Sega, I took on like 4 games at a time. So, can you take this? And I was like trying to juggle. It's like, no, you can't. It's like you end up picking your favorite baby. This game ended up really good. This game ended up crappy because I couldn't give everything attention. But yeah, so it's mostly I enjoy when people love it or the reviews are great, because I know people are going to be happy. I like to run my gym because I make people happy. I like to make games, people happy, and I even like to do the performance stuff with our TikTok with my daughter, or when you do the dress to quest, to make people happy, right? So it's
Yeah.
all connected to, which again, I'm sure there's a lot of similarities with you and I, because you're a live person that shares with the world, and has a great joy for what we do.
Love it.
Yeah.
This is one of the coolest things I get to do. So
Yeah.
neat. Okay, so when did you start with Zynga?
Zynga's really recent. It was only
Okay.
November.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
brand new.
Yeah. Brand new. As I mentioned, I was working, a variety of places. Gazillion, they have a Marvel MMO. I was working at a company called Big Wolf. I was working, as I mentioned, Cryptic. I did some work with a company called Servius. And it just happened to be the timing and the placement of this company, Zynga, and the location, the type of role I would have. Um, I picked it up too because I love the Game of Thrones IP, like probably a lot of us do.
Yeah.
And I like the integration, a good integration of an IP into a game.
Yeah.
Even though, again, it's a slot game, which you're like, but it's still, there's still things you can connect the pieces, and if you enjoy the IP, then the game is fun too.
That's
because
awesome.
you just put it all together. Yeah.
Awesome. So for those who don't know, what games does Zynga produce?
So Zynga started out with actually a poker game was the very first game, but they're famous for Farmville and a lot of the kind of the Ville type games. They were all over Facebook around, I'd say 2008 or something, 2007. And they ruled the world for a long time. And then every company will make some kind of strategic mistake. And so they weren't leaning too much into mobile. And so what happened was mobile started picking up, and then Facebook said, no more games. And so that really hurt them. They had I don't know how many years, but had to build back up.
Yeah.
And then they're all mobile now. And so they do all the kind of the top genres, and they do really well. They've taken all their best practices from what made them really good with games like Farmville and applied those to mobile. And it's a really great place to work, and they have some really cool IPs and really good leadership. And we actually just purchased not too long ago by Take-Two, who has Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, cool.
Redemption. So we're actually under them now.
Okay.
So yeah.
So with that rebuild to mobile, and it's okay if you can't tell us all the secrets.
Yes, of course.
But is there at any point a plan for resurgence of something like Farmville that, unless it's already happened, maybe I'm just really out of the loop.
It still exists. It's just on mobile and on
Gotcha.
web. And they do quite well.
Okay.
It just took them a while to kind of move that audience over and find ways to monetize and all the things you do when you switch, kind of platforms.
I have a new download from the App Store to do. Hopefully.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, gosh, you've worked for these huge companies. We've talked about your roles. Tell us a little bit about your TikTok.
Yeah. So I was waiting for a job opportunity. So an old friend of mine that I worked with at Knockout Kings, I'd mentioned, he was like, hey, and I'll be vague enough that it's not really going to impact any NDAs. He said, hey, you are great. My company wants to make a boxing game with this really big name IP person, and we want you to be executive producer and lead designer. And I was like, okay, cool. And he said, but we're trying to get our money together. And so I was waiting, and 1 month went by, and then I was like, okay, well, I don't want to just be idle.
Yeah.
And so I was on Facebook, and there's this channel, these guys that do these dad jokes back and forth. I think it's called Doc Talk.
Oh,
and
no.
They just did dad jokes. And it's like, I could do something like that, but for fantasy stuff, because my daughter and I, by that time, we were already on Dress to Quest, dressed up. I said, I have characters. My character's kind of a goofball anyway. And
Eric,
so yes.
let me have you proceed with care here. Our relationship hinges on how the rest of this interview progresses.
You either hate or love dad jokes.
I hate them.
So don't go to Dad Jokes and Dragons on TikTok.
When I used to, when I was on the Shadowrun series, and we would do, we had a fundraiser page set up where you could donate and affect the game and stuff. We got more donations from people asking for me to read a dad joke than we ever got. I would do the whole deadpan, like, what did the rabbit say to the whatever? And the rage.
So I'm certainly, so it's one of those things that nobody ignores, right? It's like the rock group Kiss, like, either love them or hate them, but you don't ignore them, right? And so I think it's kind of similar, and so the upside is that people obviously just don't have to watch it, but if they watch it and they groan, it's a dad joke. So, but if they watch it and they laugh hysterically, then great, it was for them, it hit. And so, so to kind of carry that on, what I was like, having been like, in kind of media production and entertainment production, I said, I could probably write some of these and we'll structure it so that we can write it like 3 or 4 months worth of jokes and record them like in a weekend. And then my daughter, she's an artist, and so I had her do the backgrounds.
Cool.
And so first we just all kind of connected, and I said, hey, worst case, people like go in and nothing happens, and we just do one batch. But we've been around since May of last year. We have, I think, almost 8,500 followers.
Wow.
And so it's a very active, really great, positive, fun group. People love to put in their own punchlines and react with, their duet videos or whatever, and like, do this face palming. And it's a lot of fun. It's fun. I do have plans, and I don't mind sharing it because I have other things in my life. So if someone steals it, go ahead. I'm very interested in, once we hit 10,000, because there's a structure which you can kind of have these folders in TikTok of creating a choose your own adventure, pun adventure. And so it'll still be our 2 characters. So I'm Volric the Gray. I'm a fighter bard. She's Rin Swiftbow. She's a ranger, Beastmaster Ranger with her Falcon Burt. And in the choose your own adventure, we would set up kind of like our jokes so that everyone would have a punchline. And then it'd be like, oh, now do we want to go over to this tavern where we think we're going to meet that gnome? Or, hey, wait, there's some goblins are accosting so-and-so over there. And then you choose. And so it said, go to video 5, video 2. And so I already have structured how it would work, but we need a combination of a little more time and then also we need the TikTok to work. But that would be kind of a new fun thing for people.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's basically where it is. It's fun if it keeps picking up. My daughter can do merchandising for like mugs and T-shirts and
Neat.
stuff, and we won't send you any of them because you don't like.
Yeah,
but
my community loves them. So we actually, when we were selling T-shirts, we had one that was a dad joke, and I wrote it like a D&D spell, and it's a cantrip, and it does 1d4 psychic damage if you fail the will save. So I constantly take psychic damage on.
Yes, the poor thing. And, yeah, it's fun, and just getting the people's kind of reactions and comments, and like, okay, people are really enjoying this. Oh, I needed this today, that kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
I'm sure, again, as you who present so many things to people all the time, you either get like emails or comments on Twitch or whatever, and people, oh, thank you so much for this. This is so great. So, again, it's like making people happy. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun little thing.
Cool. Awesome. So when did you first have the idea for Dress to Quest?
So I was on a show called Nerd Botchery for a while with Tony Sloan. What's funny is I would not even be talking to you right now if it hadn't been for the worst thing to happen in the world in 50 years, which is the pandemic. But because of the pandemic, I stopped playing with my friends, and so I looked outside and said, "Oh, this online game, this guy's huge Dwarven Forge set." And he said, "Hey, I'm taking the first 6 players." I was like, "I'm in." And so I played with him for quite a while and ended up being kind of a business partner of a sort. I mean, it's his business, but I helped him with a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so we're rolling for a long time. And then segueing into, I know, a future question you had, because I'd known Stefan Pokorny from some conventions, he had invited me to be on Founders and Legends because...
And he's the owner of...
Dwarven Forge.
Just for
the
our
owner
audience.
And founder. Yeah, thank you. You know, buddy. Sorry.
Fill it in.
Everybody know here for the audience back at home. So, because I knew Stefan, it was fairly casual, very friendly. I'd played a couple of his games at conventions, and he knew me, and so he said, "Hey, because of the pandemic, Founders and Legends were doing it online. Can you play? And do you have somebody else who could play?" So I invited Tony. So we played, and I played about. I'll get into your answer, but it's kind of segueing. He and I played with them several times. He played with them maybe 4 times, and I ended up playing with them about 8 times, including Peter. He was part of that group. Yeah,
Peter.
So that's why I got to know Peter.
Is the manager of Gen Con TV. He's the reason we're all here.
Yes, a wonderful, wonderful human being. Yeah. And he even invited me. So I got to play. I'm jumping around now. He invited me over to his place to play D&D with him. And so I flew from California to Seattle and played with him and Stefan and his girlfriend and Peter's wife. And it was such a gracious guy, and I had a really good time. But anyway, going back to Dress to Quest. So having known these people and that as we were doing Nerd Botchery, that Twitch channel with Tony Sloan, I wanted to up the ante. So I started cosplaying. Nobody else was cosplaying on the team. Slowly, everybody else started cosplaying too. And we were trying to pump up a little more, like make us stand out. Because you guys think about it, you go on Twitch, you have Dwarven Forge, everyone's in cosplay. It's like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, even if you're not, like, what is that? Right. So we're doing that. And then Peter put on Facebook, "Hey, we're looking for some alternate shows. What do you guys think?" And he just put that out there. And so I had his number. So I called him and I said, "Hey, I have an idea. If you don't already have a committed D&D campaign, we can come over. We can do it on your show exclusively." And it was called at that time Nerd Botchery Adventures, because I wanted to help Tony build his business. So we just added adventures to it. And so we ran that first season, and then Tony had to step out for family reasons. And then when we had a new DM, who's my buddy named Nathan, I used to work with him at a Gazillion, is another game developer. We had to rename it because Nerd Botchery Adventures doesn't make sense because that's 20s, right? So it became Dress to Quest. But one thing I'll add is that I take no credit for the quality of the people, but I will take credit for recruiting everybody. I recruited all the players, all the DMs, and it's such a wonderful group of people. I got a couple of people from TikTok now that play with us, and our current DM is James Jackson, who is the Tabletop Misfits is his realm. He's been there doing that for several years, and he's a really great DM. And we just started the new campaign for Dressed Quest season 3, 3 weeks ago.
Awesome.
And then tomorrow I'll be joining for the first time because I was waiting for my cosplay. And so here's a bit of show and tell for you.
Sneak peek, sneak peek.
Here's my mask. Whoops, there we go.
Wow.
And the jaw moves. And so this is snark, yeah, snark. So he's going to be he'll be the resident goofball goblin on the show.
That's so cool.
Hopefully my head doesn't get too hot and too squished over 3 hours of the show. But
3 hours. Oh man.
maybe I'll take some Tylenol right before preemptively.
That's a commitment.
Yeah, so that's basically it. It was, as you know, Gen Con's such a great run organization with Tanel, the amazing artist. You know, you got Marcus and like you have Tyler. But there's some wonderful people on staff, and to be a part of a big channel like that is a good opportunity to get out there for a lot of people.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Now I'm imagining if you get too hot, you can get one of those little personal fans and just stick it in the mouth.
Yes. What is he eating?
Put a lollipop on top and have it be a shtick.
Oh my God. That's a good idea, actually.
A blood pop or something, if that's that's awesome.
For
cool.
Sure.
So you've gotten to play with some greats. We talked about Steven. We talked anybody else that you've gotten to play with that you're like, that was a cool moment.
Yeah. Well, so what was really cool for me, because I have three people that I idolize that are not related to me. Like obviously my grandpa's my number one, but Bruce Lee, Stan Lee, and Gary Gygax.
That's not a Lee. It has to end in Lee now.
Yeah, and it should be the Gary Gygax Lee.
There you go.
I think he fought in the Civil War. But yeah, so Gary, because again, he was co-creator of something that was so foundational for my life, and I don't know much. So the first time I played Founders and Legends with Stefan was with Luke Gygax, and he was such a wonderful representation for that family. Such a gracious guy and so cool. And I got to play with him and just had memorable, wonderful moments. Because I've also played on that in that same one. Was Elisa Teague in that one? No, she was in the next one. But I played.
I love her.
Yes.
Brilliant game designer.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, she's just brilliant all over the place, and I feel so fortunate to play with her a couple of times. So play with her and David Baxter, who is executive producer over at Legion.
Cool.
And then Thor Nye, played with him quite a few times. He's an actor for everyone out there. He was on Rebel Moon recently.
Yeah, we had him on the show a couple weeks ago.
Right. Yeah. So we've been lucky enough. We had him as a guest, I think, 3 times on Dressed Quest. He's so gracious to. This is the cool thing about this, and every space has their their buttholes, but TTRPGs, a lot of nice people. And you a lot of times you meet people like, oh, I wish they were like I thought they might be.
Yeah.
But a lot of them were really nice people, really cool.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so playing with Luke was probably the biggest moment. I love playing in Stefan Pokorny's games because he runs 1E, which is my secret favorite.
Wow.
And he only does 1E, and it's super brutal, and he loves killing people, and it's always scary and fun, and he's so goofy.
When the game master is chaotic neutral, it's
yes. Yeah. So he very much is. So yeah, but that was fun because for a while, we kept playing those. It was like a continuous campaign that I played with them.
Yeah.
With my character was glum, the gnome. He was always really negative, and he was so fun. We had so many great moments with him. But as things happen, the pandemic kind of cooled down and people want to play in person, and Luke is kind of busy and Stefan's busy. So I haven't really gone back to that. Yeah. So I don't know, aside from I'm going to be playing in Stefan's game at GaryCon that I paid for, but aside from that, I'm not sure when I'll be playing as a group with those guys, but bucket list already kicked,
awesome.
So I'm already quite satisfied.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're getting close to the end of the show, so I want to make sure that you have some time to talk about where people can find you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at GaryCon again.
Yes, I can't wait. That'd be great. So yeah, so the show Dress to Quest, which is on this same awesome channel, is every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we have 3 hour shows. We're in season 3. We are currently in the Icewind Dale campaign,
Ooh,
and I mean we have fully our cosplay. My character not so much, but all the other characters they have big fur hats and like their outfits fit Icewind
cool.
Dale. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
But see, my goblin has prestidigitation, so you can just keep himself warm. You can just keep every hour, just kind of keep himself warm.
That's so
But
cool.
but yeah, so that's it. And then again, for people that don't hate dad jokes and dragons on TikTok, and hope to see you either place.
I've heard recently, I was talking, I think, to Elisa actually about it this past week, that on the various platforms that actually doing an angry face bumps up the algorithm more than a like.
Oh my God.
So if
I,
that's the case, I'm gonna have to research it.
I
But if
want
that's
you
the
to follow me
case,
then.
yeah, I'll just angry at everything. And you know that it comes from a place of love.
Yeah.
And also rage.
That is yes. That is awesome, Rem. You're a gem. And so thank you again, Rem. Thank you for doing what you do. I mean, you're a wonderfully positive, passionate, fluent person in this whole industry. And so, thanks for being you.
Thank you. That's really sweet. I love what I do, and I get to talk weekly with really cool people and show off how cool they are. So, but thank you
Great.
so much for coming on, Eric. And
Thank you.
I'm excited to see you and hang out more. But you guys don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. Hey everyone, don't forget that we have a wonderful giveaway of a Shadowrun sixth world. You can word it, I guess, if you want. That sounds more like a verb. It's a core rulebook PDF. You can type hashtag RemPC in the chat for your free entry to win. And don't forget to get all of your bonus entries by donating bits or subscribing. All funds help us to pay our cast and crew and keep producing content. So thank you all for joining. Now we are on to our rebroadcast of Emerald Glitch. We'll see you next time, RemPCs.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are
Oh,
then coated
obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Spells.
She says spell like 92 times. Spell, 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 spell.
Oh well.
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off. That way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat, though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood. We mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Click what really quick? Oh, that's right. We got to do the waving because we just came in. Right. We're waving. We're waving. We're in. When are we live yet? I don't know. Are we live yet? Oh, right. Oh, that means I'm supposed to. Right. Hey there, Gen Con TV watchers. Welcome to another amazing episode of Shadowrun Emerald Glitch. I'm your host, Max from Original Box Set, and we have an exciting show for you tonight. It is January 4th, and hey, Christian, what do we have to give away tonight?
I'm so glad you asked, Max. Tonight, you can drop hashtag RemPC in the chat to be entered for a chance to win a copy of Red's game, Sea of War. So make sure you hit hashtag RemPC. The winner will be announced at the end of the episode, and you'll be reached out via Twitch Whispers. Now, you can get 7 additional entries if you subscribe to Gen Con TV today. And don't forget, for every 100 bits you donate, you get another entry. Not only that, you can help us players when you donate. For 100 bits, you can give one of us a NERP to use, and that's an additional 3 dice you can add to a roll. For 300 bits, you can give a player 1 edge, and 500 bits gives a player 4 edge. And if you are a terrible person who likes to kick puppies, you can also give that to our game runner, Max. And you can choose to give those NERPs and edges to him instead. Everyone stay tuned and hashtag RPC.
Yeah, so we part of the game mechanics for Shadowrun 6th edition is edge. You'll make a dice roll, set some sort of set number of hits, and I try to set it reasonably to what is required, and then the players have to kind of meet that. Well, a good portion of the time, the dice don't always do what they need them to do, and so they need that edge to survive, and they will. They'll burn through it. These people will burn. They will burn through it. I will burn through it as well. I generally don't have edge in most of my NPCs, so they don't get any of those bonuses. But if you guys give me that edge, I can use that edge to cancel their rolls out.
See, don't fall for that. See, that's the evil talking. Like,
Yeah. Did you hear that laugh? That was not a benevolent laugh.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, you guys and gals. That was a normal laugh. I laugh like that all the time. Always.
You got one of those laughs that like shake your sinuses loose.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, twirl that mustache.
Notice the evil mustache. It grows naturally this way. And the evil soul patch.
With the point on the end too. Yeah, you're right about that.
Grows
Wow, we
that
should
way.
have seen the signs.
So, what's this episode about? What's today about? Today is about legwork. Now, it's a term that if you're in the business, and I don't necessarily mean, doing crime, but a lot of businesses will refer to legwork as that task of getting stuff started and finding out all the necessary details before you move forward. There's other terminology, but for the Shadowrun world, the runners must do legwork before they do the crime. Wait. Let me take that back. They don't have to do the legwork before they do the crime, but they can do the legwork before the crime, and they have a greater chance of surviving, greater chance of being successful. And last we left off, they were about to go into some more legwork. Why? Because a lot of things had dynamically changed. They had gotten Elwyn and Seraphina safe back to Seattle, and in the process, they reached out to the person in question, Icarus, or their contact to be able to get in contact with Icarus to get those awesome level 6 sins set up so that they could head toward Emerald City and get through all the checkpoints, but something didn't go right. But that happens a lot. And now Icarus is out of circulation, just not going to be around for a while. And apparently, this new person's name come up. Yokomi. You guys remember that name drop last session? Yokomi? And it's like, Yokomi, who was responsible for all this, was setting everything up. He, apparently, was the one who got Icarus. And it's like, all these names and a whole bunch of stuff has just come up. And the group had a chance to kind of like center around and have a chat. And we pick up while they're being busy. If you pay attention, you'll probably be able to pick up on some of the answers to the questions you probably have from last session to this session. But we are going to kind of focus in on finding out what the group is doing. Now, Steel Tiger, you have actually been quite active, seeking out a decent amount of information, a decent amount of probing, trying to figure out what needs to do next, because you're still in on it. I think everybody's still in on it. Everybody's still in getting the job done, right? Yeah, the job is a lot of money. You were promised quadruple from Curie to finish the job.
Yes, that's a lot of moolah. And so yeah, I've been I've been trying to do my due diligence, cross all my T's, dot all the I's, and Still Tiger's been doing some lead work into some of Ikomi's other holdings, to see if there's anything that we could raid easily or mess with anything just to get their attention and get them looking this way while we're actually trying to take out the actual target. And so it seems like the Skyrise Tower properties is something that we could look into. It's one of his largest holdings besides the elevator. I was just wondering if maybe we could see if there's an angle that way. Otherwise, we could like mess with the stock prices, I guess. But that'd be an our coal and convoy territory, because I have no idea how many zeros and ones I'd need to shift to make that happen.
A lot, my friend. A lot. And there would be a lot of people paying attention when those ones and zeros start shifting around, because that's their money, and not like the little bits of money, the big bits of money. So, your questions that you were asking me during the break were related to the dragon in question. You guys haven't really kind of reached out to your contact just yet, the Johnson, and try to clear things up there either. Because if the Johnson, and this is a call that you guys get to make, nothing I'm going to push you toward. The Johnson set the job up. The Johnson was the one talking to whoever he was talking to. And Curie has come out saying, oh, the whole job was based on this Yokomi guy. And Yokomi apparently killed off one of the allies that were going to help you get this whole ID thing. So she said, keep going with the job. And so you have. Ixnay the Johnson move forward. Or did somebody want to actually kind of reach out to the Johnson and say, hey man, what's going on? Are we still good? Because the Johnson was supposed to get you the explosives.
Oh, if that's the case, I would definitely contact them to at least get the explosives.
Okay. Well, we'll start there. We'll assume that this is any given time after the end of last session. Hoodville 2, by the way, still needs to be renamed. You can keep it Hoodville 2, but I mean, you get the choice to rename it to whatever you want. Your the Johnson Plague Town, what?
Hood Town.
Hood Town.
No.
I will make notes. Hood Town it is.
Or actually just Hood. Like,
Hood?
you know, why not?
I used to live in a city called Hood.
Right?
Yeah.
But Hoodville just does sound wrong. Especially 2. You know, you could just have 2 Hoodvilles and not have one be the second, you know? Like, there's like a million Springfield. But never mind.
No, but like, what happened to Hoodville 1?
That's a great question.
Asking the hard-hitting questions out here.
Right? That's why you're the Decker. That's why you're the Decker. How do you want to contact the Johnson?
Typically I would say call, but the way you asked that after hearing your laugh, now I'm sitting here like a carrier pigeon. Like how?
What is that supposed to mean? I don't do anything that gives away my potential.
Is there any way for me to mask this phone call of Steel Tigers?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do that.
All right. So the first thing you would do is you turn on stealth. You basically activate that you're running silent. There's no dice rolls to that until somebody starts like digging around and checking. And then if somebody does dig around and check and they catch on, you can just end the call and scrub it. And problem solved. So if you're actively watching things, then you should be good to go. With the help of Grouse and stuff like that. So Steel Tiger makes the call. And like you said, call, or were you seriously like joking when you're like text or pigeon?
Oh, no. Yeah, I called him.
Okay. He doesn't answer and says he will call you right back.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Patience is a virtue.
Matrix perception from our Cole. Looking for at least 2 hits.
Oh, did it not go through?
Did not on my side. I don't know if anybody else has seen anything. Let me hit the refresh.
I don't see anything either.
Oh, that's super weird. Okay, let me reopen that super quick.
Sure.
There we go. Okay.
Excellent. See that. 5 hits. Without Grouse jumping in or anything. 5 hits. He makes the call, he hangs up, you see the text message come back, so you're aware of all the details. There's no hidden anything for you. And your your baby monitor jumps up 8 points. Right after the text message comes through.
Got it.
Which basically translates into there is a number of active data searches now going through here. Other things passing through the area, doing searches in this area where he just made a phone call from. Trying to track him down. You're stealthed right now, right? So nobody's seen anything, but you started noticing that things started picking up. Just until a persona shows up, until a agent or a sprite or anything shows up. Right now it's just like preliminary looking, and you don't have any opposed dice rolls, but you will notice that the Overwatch score just jumped up for the area. You haven't done anything illegal, so it doesn't apply to you, but it gives you an idea of like the heartbeat of the Matrix in the area, that people are now looking.
Got it. I'm gonna signal to Steel Tiger without making it audible, or he's only texting. So I'm going to let him know that we've got eyes on us, or trying to, anyways.
Oh, okay. Like, can you hide us even if I have an active phone call or anything going on, or should we just go where they're not looking?
We're not doing anything bad right now, but we are trying to secure explosives. I don't know what they want, but there's something shady going on. If you think that there's a good chance that we can secure those explosives, then I can do all I can, and I can let you know as soon as I start struggling.
Okay. Hey, Oracle, what you up to? I mean, Convoy, what you up to?
I'm probably just working in my shop. I can answer a call. What's up? I mean, howdy.
Yes. How is Mama Bear doing?
Mama Bear's all right. Just minor damage. I had to fix the lights a little bit, but otherwise pretty good.
I was wondering if you could come pick me up and just take us on a drive somewhere.
Yeah, 10-4, good buddy. I'll come pick you up.
Appreciate it. See you soon.
All right. Becoming mobile will aid in making it harder for people to pin you down. I'm also assuming that your first initial phone call wasn't made from the tea shop.
I mean, I originally thought it was.
Okay. But now that you've been stealthed already, so you're making a decision, I need to not be here at this location as things move forward. So we're going to work it this way. You walk up the street. You wait by the sidewalk for a little bit. Arcole, are you going with? Are you going to hang out at the tea shop or crawl up in Mama Bear with, or what? All right. So as Mama Bear pulls up, the comm in question for Steel Tiger.
I was muted for that moment. I'm hopping in Mama Bear. I'm coming along with. I was muted on OBS. Sorry.
Oh, right. Gotcha. So as Mama Bear pulls up to a stop, and you two are about to get in, Steel Tiger, the comm in question that you're looking for a communication from, rings. And it is your Johnson.
I'm gonna screen it and then send him a text. I will call you right back. Area's not safe. Be just a moment.
All right. Arcole, I'm going to say that you're carrying that same matrix perception as you climb in. The Overwatch dropped down after you guys waited for a little while and left, and then as you get back out, the Overwatch jumps back up to about a 7 this time. Not like an 8 like it was beforehand, but it definitely spikes up, and so it lets you know that the area is being searched. Visually, I'm assuming you guys could easily make a perception check. There are the normal day-to-day drones zipping here and there, delivering mail and stuff like that. A police drone that is in the area patrolling makes a beeline, turns, and starts heading in this direction as you guys are climbing into Mama Bear. So, you get in Mama Bear. Does Mama Bear have any sort of like noise, jamming, signal dampening tech to help out, like a white noise generator?
I don't think I do have a white noise generator.
Does anybody have a white noise generator?
I do.
Cool. All right, so as you guys are climbing in, you open your satchel, you pull out your white noise generator, and it comes apart. Look on your character sheet real quick. Read what it says right next to your white noise generator.
In pieces. 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 what?
Oh,
3
no,
pieces?
that was its rating. Sorry. But
Yeah.
I thought it was specified 3 pieces. But no, it's in pieces.
You open it up and your white noise generator comes out and it is not okay. It comes apart. This is a piece of solid state tech, by the way. It doesn't have screws that you can easily access.
That's not the only thing broken in my bag either.
Oh crap! What are you talking about?
So is my flashlight, and so are my goggles. I'm gonna look around at the crew and say, hey, everyone should check their belongings. I think something may be going on.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to furiously check my bag.
Sure.
So I have like 3 grapple guns, some microwire, sequencer.
Everything seems. I mean,
yeah. I don't see anything broken.
You're looking for specifically something would be written next to the name of the device.
Okay.
So as you furiously begin looking through all your stuff, Convoy.
I mean, yeah, I already noticed this. The earbud I used to talk to y'all, I lost one. I thought I dropped it or something, but I haven't been able to find it.
And you can't even use your Wi-Fi to find it, because normally you can just be like, "Bing, where's it at?" And you haven't been able to ping it. All right. That police drone flies past down the street, gets to the intersection, stops, and then begins doing a slow scan back up the street, coming from where behind Mama Bear. So it's gone past, it stopped, and now it's making a slow sweep up the street, checking things like license plates and IDs that are active running on people. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, let's get.
All right. Start driving up the road. Bump it up. Do you got any idea where you want to go? Maybe get on the highway, take some back roads.
Anywhere but here.
Was this Lone Star?
Yes.
I'm gonna take us to one of the neighborhoods that is not Lone Star. and see if we have the same effect.
Sure. So you're heading to... I'm trying to remember the name of it. Tacoma. Or... Yeah, Tacoma's going to be the closest. Steel Tiger, where is your place at? Is it in downtown? It's not in downtown.
It is on the edge. It's on the edge between, I don't know the actual names of the neighborhood, but between the nice part of town and like the bad part of town. It's right on the edge.
Tacoma.
Yeah.
That's not run by Lone Star. So that's where you're headed. So it's going to take a couple of blocks before you get into territory that's outside of Lone Star's patrolling. And it's not hard for you to do so. A couple of major highways and whatnot. And without rolling, you definitely notice that there is an active amount of police patrols, drones moving about. And that does not just mean aerial drones. There are also police cars, drones on the streets, pulling up behind people, and then their little sensor doing a sweep across license plates. And as soon as it does its sweep, it moves up to behind another vehicle. I'm going to require you to either do a reaction plus piloting. I'm looking for a piloting roll and at least 3 successes to avoid having one of them get behind you and run your plates. Not that would be a problem, but I'm assuming you don't want to have heat right now.
No, I definitely don't.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
You don't have to
0.
roll, do you?
Luckily, I'm full up on edge.
0. And to the audience, this is what we're talking about. Look at that. 12 dice, 0. Do you want to try to tap Randy as well?
I mean, yeah, sure.
That'll give you 2 extra dice to throw real quick. 1,
But
2,
is that a
3,
glitch?
4, 5, 6. It is.
Can I re-roll that, or is it a glitch?
Oh, no,
Can I use
Go ahead.
edge to...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I was like, I believe, like, if you roll, like, it's either a glitch or a critical glitch. Like, even if you edge it, you don't get rid of, like, the glitchiness. Even though you can possibly, you can still glitch and succeed what you're doing.
Like succeeding your action, but if on either your roll or potential re-roll, then you're still screwed.
You are mostly correct. If you critically glitch, there's no way to... If you spend the edge to reroll all your failures, you will undo the critical glitch. It could still end up being a glitch, but you can also make a glitch roll and still pass. So if you reinitiate and roll all the failed dice, I think that's 4 edge, right?
Okay.
Then the glitch goes... the glitch will go away, I do believe. I don't remember
It's just I think it's just critical glitches.
You're God. You're God. You're fine.
That's better.
That's way better. But that burnt through all your edge at the very first roll for the night. So, I mean, yay. Wait, should I insert evil laugh here?
Please.
Right?
It's just a lot of traffic. Not much I can do.
A lot of damn traffic. Like, so, give a quick descript on why you think... Because that's... Technically, it was a failure, but then, like, you probably cut somebody off or something. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I've just, like, it's bumper to bumper. And I just can't get out. I'm trying to figure out. I go one way, I get cut off. I try to go the other way, I get cut off. And so I think I probably just like let's say. Here's what I do. What I immediately like start pulling in and just like I'll roll down my window and just stare directly at the driver and just like very purposefully edge in until they back down.
Okay,
and then
So here's what's going to happen. I got some good news for you and some bad news for you. Which do you want? The good news or the bad news?
Good news.
Good news is I'm going to let you make an intimidate utilizing your charisma and your piloting to do so. The bad news is the very last line of reroll says edge boost cannot be used if a glitch or critical glitch is rolled. Pooh.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna let you keep your
that.
edge correct. but instead you're intimidating a nearby driver with the size of your vehicle to cut him off so that you don't have a cop car pull right up behind you and start running your plates.
Yeah, this isn't gonna go great, y'all.
Is there still any edge gifting?
Yeah, you could still edge gift, but we're going to Kisbit back on that dice roll.
Yeah, it's okay for right now.
Okay.
I do not have intimidation, so this is unskilled.
No. You're using your charisma and your piloting roll. Your ground.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
That's the skill. That's the skill set you're using, not your actual intimidate, because that's like verbal and in someone's face. This is your vehicle, like driving into their lane. Man, I hate when the big trucks do that. And I have a tiny car. 5 successes. So, yeah, give a description how you saved the day with this.
So I would probably like I said, I'm just staring down this car, some tiny little like Kia, right?
Yeah.
And I'll change my eyes to turn into bullseyes. Just to like zoom in on them a bit.
Damn. We'll say it's a Volkswagen Goblin.
There we go. Yeah, Volkswagen Goblin.
Oh my good. So yeah, you get into the police drone pulls behind you, and as you're like, you see it's about to happen, so you start to edge one way. You guys are seeing in the back the drone pulls in, and then he just immediately starts driving like super close. The goblin will move just enough so that the drone piloting program can't break protocol and then try to cut between vehicles. It's not a dangerous situation, so the drone's stuck on its safety mode. It's safe mode driving. So you get away. And you're in Tacoma now. No drones. No excess amounts of police activity going on. It's died down.
Oh, by the way, where's Techno Siren?
You were actually asking me. I thought you were like, just no. I would have gone home after that last mission out in Hoodville 3 or 2 or Hood wherever, and I haven't reached out to you yet. I don't know how long it's been, but I'm feeling a little uncertain and waiting to be summoned. So I'm not with you right now at all. I'm at home.
Oh. Okay, let's go pay Techno Siren a visit.
Well, Techno Siren doesn't live in Tacoma, and that's where you guys are at now. So
that's the magic thing about wheels; they can keep rolling.
Steel Tiger's sassy.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, even if the plan was to pick up Techno Siren, I definitely would have gotten out of Lone Star territory before going anywhere else.
Okay.
So that's fine.
You're gonna reach.
I don't know where I live though.
You don't. They've kept that secret.
I'm keeping it secret on
Arkle
purpose.
and Convoy know.
Wait. Oh yeah, you know. I don't know that you know.
Yeah.
Do I?
I mean, well, I hinted at it.
That's right.
Steel Tiger is the only. Steel Tiger and Nova are the only two who are not in on the inn.
All right. Well, look, we got this. We got this Drekken Lone Star. We got to stay out of there. Techno Siren's gonna have to come to us a little bit because it's not like we can drive on up there.
No, not after last time.
So what you propose that she hitchhike a little bit? Can she drive?
We'll take a train.
She's got a bike.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Never mind.
I don't think I've seen your bike yet.
I stashed it when we were at the hospital, and I've just been riding along with you all lately. I feel like I've just been parking it and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'd like to hit up Techno Siren. Probably not via phone call. So I'm gonna send a text message to see what she's up to.
How long has it been?
Oh man. Since you guys went separate directions, maybe about 3 to 4 days. It's almost the weekend.
Okay. So there's something that I would have been trying to do on my own on the other side before I tell you where I am, if that's okay.
Sure.
Um, so when there was like the whole reveal to me about the whole plan to blow up the elevator and all of that stuff, they mentioned that Horizon was the corp that they were going against, right? So everybody plug your ears for a second, because not you, Max. Wait, Max, I need your
right.
ears.
Okay, right.
I probably should have done this offline, but I would have. I want to ask about. I want to try like dig in at work about like how are they tied to the elevator? Like what kind of nefarious things might they be up to? Could I have done any of that sort of digging?
Yes, you could. Because where you live and what you work with, you can. And how would oh man, so many good questions. This do you have like the skill influence? Do you have
Yeah, I do.
influence?
Yeah.
Cool. Tell me you guys are good. Go ahead, put back in. Okay. So I'm going to let you know that you're going to have some information. What kind of to answer your question and to kind of keep things separate, I will do you that favor. Did you to answer your question directly? Yes, you did find stuff, and it is not okay. It is not on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being morally good, while 10 being horrendously bad. What they're doing is probably like a 7.5 to 8.5.
Oh, okay.
To kind of like set a scale in, and I will have a private, I'll message you back and forth about some more of the details. But is it have a direct effect on everything you guys are doing? Sort of. What your actions are going to do, what they're talking about doing, will have an impact on Horizon. Will it keep them from succeeding in their nefarious activities? Yes. Will it save lives by keeping Horizon from doing these terrible things? So, yeah. Yes, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, if it's almost the weekend, it's probably like, can we just say that is the weekend? If it's the weekend, then I'm free. If it's the middle of the workday though, I'm still working. And I would text you and be like, I'll call you later. So I don't know, is it Friday? Is it Saturday? Somebody tell me.
I'm gonna call it Friday.
Great. So if it's in the middle of the day on a Friday, I would be like, I'll call you back later. It's not safe here.
Dude, it's just everybody's just playing phone tag today. It's great.
Phone tag episode.
I don't know, man. That's a heat wave.
Max said like
those screening phone calls episode.
Also, after that, definitely scrubbing those. By the way, those text messages, if at all possible.
Yeah, exactly. They're part of all those phones in question are part of your PAN. You have them locked down, so you have the ability to just go in and get rid of that stuff. No one, unless they break into your PAN, which they have to go through your firewall, it'll initiate to you, they would see it. Unless somebody has slipped in a program that's running in the background and you don't know about it, you have full dominion over the system and can see all and control all. So like if Convoy decides to send a text message to Steel Tiger, you'll know about it. It's not that level. There's no level of privacy. They have to choose to do so outside of the PAN, and then that can leave a data trail that others can see. So Scrubbed, cleaned, done.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on. Is the star up there as well? Is that what they're? Do they? Nah, it's not. They're not the security up there. They got their
Hooper.
Did
yeah,
anything
Hooper's up
happen?
there.
Did anything happen recently that's put everybody on edge nearby?
It's just Lone Star, man. It's just the star that's in a heat wave right now. We're in Tacoma. We're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tacoma is covered by a completely different security company, and they don't have as much of an oppressive coverage right now.
oh, fantastic. All right, now I try to hit the Johnson back up.
Bam! Phone rings. Johnson picks up. Greetings, Steel Tiger.
Good evening. How are things?
Things are not well. I know that you and I have a current outstanding job, and I had made you a promise to pay you when the job was complete. I've been waiting to see what happens next, but my contact, I believe they're pulling out.
Wait, they're pulling out?
They're pulling out. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but he hasn't been as responsive as he has been in the past.
Has he given any reasons why?
I'm not at liberty to say, and you can understand why.
Yeah, that's fair. What about if the job gets done now? Is there no money on the table if they pull out?
If he pulls out, there is no money on the table for the job getting finished, and that's a choice you get to make. I wish I could be more helpful at this point in time, but everything seems very odd, and I'm trying to distance myself from the situation. Listen, there's this fishmonger down by the bay. You've probably heard about it. It's a very popular fish joint where you can buy a variety. A lot of elves shop there. There's a distributor there that sells blowfish. And I find blowfish to be very tasty. So
Yes,
if you
blowfish
get-
is a delicacy if you prepare it right.
yes, if you get a chance to look up, if you get a chance to get some blowfish, make sure to find yourself the only qualifiable sushi maker who makes the best blowfish in Seattle.
All right, a fugu master. I shall find one.
I wish I could offer you more help. If anything comes up for another job, I'll reach out to you. I know your qualifications, Steel Tiger.
I appreciate it. I will talk to you. Well, I guess I won't talk to you soon, but Godspeed.
He hangs up. Doesn't even finish. As soon as you say Godspeed, he hangs up the call.
Time to go get some blowfish.
All right.
So yeah, he's gonna tell Convoy about the about the fish market.
Yep. Do you know what the fish market is called in Seattle? The big one? The one that everybody goes to?
Yeah, that
Pikes. Pikes Market.
Oh, okay. Pikes.
Right. Yeah. So, quick drive into downtown along the wharf. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna make a comment that this late in the day, fish ain't gonna be that fresh. You gotta get there early if you want the good stuff.
Yes, that is very true.
This is true.
So, do you want to wait?
I mean, Abuelita was frozen for 40 years. She seemed pretty fresh.
I mean,
I'm just saying, like, it seems like we have really good freezers in today's day.
I don't know. Thawed meat and thawed fish ain't the same thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe it's best we come in the morning.
Yeah, we can get and then maybe Techno Siren will be available.
Oh, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right. For nightcap then until the morning.
If you're headed out for a nightcap, that must mean it's about the time of day I'll be off of work. And I would have done the thing where I like totally go home and I call you basically from my bike and I'm like, hey, strangers, what's going on?
Oh, I see. You called at just the right time. I was going to see if everybody wanted to go, have a drink, have a little nightcap.
Absolutely. Send me the coordinates to the spot. Let's go.
Wait, you weren't here for any of the work, and now you want to party? No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you even know me? Hello? It's Friday night. Let's go.
Hey, Convoy.
Can we know
you must know a bar nearby.
Well, what kind of vibe we looking for here? Because there's a lot of options. What are we doing here? Because I know a couple places, but we looking for dark and seedy. We looking for
we trying to shake
loud
some
and bouncy.
Oh, let's just have a good time. Where are the vibes, as you guys say, chillest?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What did you say? What did you say?
That wasn't our call. That wasn't our call. That was me. I said somewhere to shake some hoop.
Some oh.
Some hoop.
Oh. Hoop.
Yeah,
Now I'm with you. Got it. Okay. It's not what I heard. That's fine.
Ancient vernacular was.
Anyway.
We only get the one, and I had long enough to think about it, so I didn't use it yet.
Nice. Sorry, what are we doing? We're going anywhere that we can dance and drink. Let's go.
All right.
I will find a place that as soon as she says the word dance, Convoy does not take that correctly. So we're gonna go to not like a club. We're gonna go to where they do like Texas two-steps and line dance.
Amazing.
I'm gonna take it to
the boot scoot boogie.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Fun fact: there was a cool little kick move in the Achy Breaky Heart one. My parents had a videotape of how to do it with Billy Ray Cyrus himself. So just saying, and I learned how to do it. It's pretty cool.
Sick.
Okay. Sure.
Anyway.
Texas themed bar dancing. Seattle.
You know it exists. It absolutely exists.
It has to.
They serve French fries inside of boots, or soy fries, I suppose.
Soy fries.
Boots.
And krill patty burgers. How about the Texas Two-Step Saloon? That's my first stab at it.
Wow.
Good? Bad? What? What do we got going on here?
No, it's called Neon Moon. How about that?
Neon Moon. I love it. Neon Moon. Neon Moon.
Yes.
Okay. Upon arriving, you guys are able to get in, get a table. The place is rather active. A decent, loud, verbose amounts of country music
On the way, I am gonna I'm gonna ask how much his white noise generator asked, and see if we can get another one delivered by drone on our way there.
Ooh, look at that.
Double the cost. Do you have an idea what the rating is going to be? Like a 3? Oh, I opened it right up to it. Because it's rating times 50, so we'll double that. Rating times 100 for delivery. And it goes 1 to 6, so a 6 would be a 600.
Well, we don't necessarily have to. I can probably send Goose to go get it and do a pickup.
Sure.
Save on time.
So you guys would have to reach out to one of your contacts who can buy and sell stuff, because you want a black market, a chipped thing. So you got a fixer. Anybody got a fixer? Yeah, that's who you'd be reaching out to. Otherwise, you're going to be calling. Maybe the arms dealer might have one. So it'd be one of your contacts on your character sheet. That's how you're going to get a white noise generator. But you're going to be in a nightclub, so you're going to be in a club. There's going to be loud music.
Fine, right?
You're going to be fine.
Okay, great.
You're going to be fine.
I'm overly sensitive, knowing that all this heat is popping up so quick everywhere.
Right. Also, Arcole can not Arcole, but you can turn your RCC on to jamming. If you remember correctly, you can jam signals too. So, yeah. You guys arrive at the Neon Moon, get a table, sit down, order some fries and some krill cakes, some soy fries and krill cakes, beers and mixed drinks and whatnot, and have an opportunity to kind of unwind as you're all together now, and discuss things. And,
do you want to make it clear that before we start taking things seriously, Technocyron would try to learn one of the dances?
Okay.
I just need everybody to know that. So anyway, for flavor's sake.
I mean, Convoy will absolutely teach you how to dance.
Awesome.
Amazing. That's great. Okay, so then when we come back to sit down, and I steal fries from somebody's plate,
I karate chop her hand as it comes towards I asked you if you wanted fries.
I didn't want a lot of fries. I just wanted some.
and then he moves his hand and lets her have some.
Thank you. And I just want to how do all of you, what you all seem so cloudy today? What's happening?
Well, it's a heat wave out there today. There's just the stars everywhere, and we lost Johnson for this job. It's just not ideal.
A lot of misfortune in a short amount of time.
Oh, well, if there's no Johnson, you're probably not gonna do it then, right?
Well, no, we still have your teacher there. She said that she would pay us quadruple. So there's still money to be had. Unless she was trying to get it from the Johnson, which I don't think she was.
Nah, it's a lot of new yen though, for all of us.
Is that the only reason? I mean,
it would also be good to strike a blow against such a dickhead. I'm sorry, forgive my language.
That's our one.
It was a good one though.
It was a good one.
It's a good one. So, yeah, you didn't tell me very much about this job. What guy? Who is this person that you want to stick it to? I just feel like this is a really high stakes thing. We've just been having fun, so much fun lately.
Oh, yeah.
Things could go bad, really bad.
Thus the party he He waves to the.
This is our end of the world party. This is, I mean,
I'm an
camping
old
is
man.
fun.
Do you have a better idea?
Yeah, you should have contacted me. But I don't think that that's what we're actually talking about here.
Oh no, I just wanted to unwind. There was a lot of tension. I just wanted to drink and just chillax before we did something else that would most likely go wrong. He says as he looks down into his cup.
Well, look, I mean, we're gonna be able to. I still think we can do this if we're careful and we put in the legwork. But
And at that, after hearing the importance of legwork, he perks right back up. There's learning.
well, we gotta. There's a. We've got to meet a contact, I believe, or there was a tip that we're going to go down to the fish market tomorrow if you'd like to join us. And we can tell you a little bit about this job and what we're doing, right?
Yeah, there's just a lot at stake here, and I can't just, I don't know. You didn't even know to call me about a party. How do I know? You're just using. This is scary. To be honest.
Yes, it is frightening.
But isn't it fun?
Well, but that was before we were gonna like fight an actual dragon and blow up the space elevator. What about all of the people that work there and all of the cool, like, that's like a cool thing that like we did. Like, that's like an awesome. Why do we want to do that? And I feel like everybody's just hiding from me what's actually happening. Even my teacher that I thought was my teacher for so long was like not who I thought she was. And like, I just feel like something is not adding up.
And you would have never figured that out if you hadn't have ran with us.
Well, that is true, but now you all are not telling me everything, and that makes me feel weird.
I tried to get you in as soon as I could. You told me later, so things happened without you. We're just now trying to get back. You wanted to dance first. It's not like anybody was keeping anything from you. Like, you can just.
All right.
He knows better. He knows better than to tell her to calm down. But he makes the hand gesture like he's about to. And then he catches himself.
It's okay. It's all right, y'all. We're gonna cool the legumes, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna cool the legumes, and Convoy will order 4 shots.
And as the drinks are arriving, we're going to take a moment. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back as we head to a commercial break. So
don't forget to drop hashtag RemPC in the chat for your chance to win a copy of Red's game Sea of War. The winner will be announced via Twitch Whispers. Get them in now. And if you subscribe, you get more. Also, don't forget them bits.
Bits.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off. That way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat, though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood. We mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Well, howdy there, everybody. We're on to part 2. The nightclub edition. I don't know what they're doing. I'm just gonna sit here and watch them do stuff. Tequila shots, whiskey shots. I'm not sure what you guys would have ordered, but they've arrived at the table while you are having your conversation. Your
Tequila for sure.
Quintessential conversation about activities, things. And so I'll let you pick up where we left off.
Our Cole, because he's kind of paranoid at this point, is taking one shot and then quietly passing on his other shots to other people if there are multiple there.
Oh yes. There will be multiple shots.
We've already
People
had
come on
multiple,
in the corner.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's get you. I mean, we take for granted that you're not up to speed on a lot of things. So,
Do you have any specific questions?
I mean, I guess you just said that you even just lost this Johnson that you were working for to blow up the elevator. You also found out that you might have to fight a dragon about it. And all I thought that we were doing was like, picking up some spell stuff. Also, what was that spell stuff for? What was that spell stuff for?
Well, that was to pay off the Archangel.
There was an angel. There was one, and you tried to hide that from me.
We didn't know you as well at the time, and I in the state that I was in, I honestly didn't know who I could trust. Even that super kind bunny lady at the shop, I really didn't know. Poor Kiki. I hope you're taking good care of that sword.
I think of her every time that I polish it, and I do polish it. Just like Steel Tiger taught me in our lessons.
That sounded crazy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Honoring your board gear is the first step to success.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Envoy
listening.
Bites his lip and shoots 2 more shots. Well, look, we also know that we weren't sure if we could trust you. Finding a mage is real difficult, and then when you run long enough, I'm guessing you're relatively new to running, right?
Yeah.
So you tend to pick up a few enemies here and there. And it is common practice to investigate the people you work with.
Okay, well, do you trust me now, though?
I do now, yeah.
Okay.
But when we first brought you on board, we weren't sure. We found out. I'll look at Arcole. Be like, yeah, we're being honest here. So we know you live up there. So we weren't sure who you were working for, or what might keep you from helping us.
Everyone has their own agenda. Everyone does. It just we are very open about it. We're open about what we do in order to make our goals, and not everyone is. We just have to make sure.
I'm sorry if you felt deceived. That was not our intention.
And let me tell you, I understand you're worried about the folks, working on the elevator, and I get that. I mean, we're lucky it's in, the warehouse, the industrial area, so it's not going to be civilians hanging out in their homes that are going to get hurt. And I'm sure we can probably set an emergency evacuation, set that signal off. Help minimize casualties.
Pull the fire alarm?
Yeah.
That works every time, right?
Well, unless Horizon is, doesn't have put fire alarms on it. It's not like they got to worry much about safety regulations.
Oh, fair enough. I guess OSHA was the first thing to go.
Mm-hmm. But look, I can tell you from experience, these corps, they don't care about us. They've got their own agenda, and that agenda's going to happen with or without us. They don't care how many wage slaves die to get what they want.
Then what are you trying to accomplish by blowing up this elevator? Like, why? Why are you doing it?
Survive.
To survive? What is it? How is it stopping you from surviving?
Listen, if we don't pick up this job, then another group of runners will. That we're not the only ones out here. Someone else will pick up that job, and then if they fail, another one will pick it up from that same corp that is going to, or we're not the only ones picking up jobs here. We just happen to be the first ones. These wars are held at such a higher scale than us.
Well, then what happened to this Johnson backing out, and how did you get in contact with my professor?
Still Tiger's gonna look at Arcole. Yeah.
I can't answer that one. I'm as confused as you are about that a little bit.
Oh, I can fix that. when you guys got the job, you were told that to get up there, you're going to need high-level clearance, and you're going to need to seek out an agent, a person, a magic user named Icarus. You're going to need to figure out how to do that yourself with your spellcaster, and that's when your spellcaster disappeared. And you guys are like, crap, now we need a different spellcaster. And that's when you guys started looking around for a second spellcaster, and that's when you ran across the young woman who was a spellcaster, and she summoned Icarus, and Icarus arrived and said, I will totally help you out. Here's the name of my contact down here, so you don't have to rely upon someone to send a watcher, but I'll go ahead and whisper the person's name to your spellcaster, and so that young woman knows the professor's name. And that's how, because Icarus wanted to make sure that you had a chance to get back in touch, because that way you can get. That's how you found out about Icarus. It was a really quick moment between in that part of the game, so I get like missing out in.
Well, it was
But
more
yes.
like we didn't know that. We didn't know.
Correct, because the spellcaster, she knew it. She knew what was going on, and so she's like, yeah, I know the people, and Nova was like, nope, just tell us, you don't get to be part of this anymore. Because Steel Tiger was like, do we get to collect this kid too and be part of our team? And you guys were like, no children runners.
Yes, no child runners.
Yeah, we were confused as you were about these connections. We didn't know
Yeah.
Nova was gonna know him. We didn't know you knew him.
Yeah.
That was
I didn't
so
know.
weird. That was so weird.
We stepped in a bigger pile of dreck than we anticipated. There's a lot of things moving that have nothing to do with us, and we're just here to do a job.
Well, don't you get curious though? Then, if you don't, you're just happy to be a cog and
We don't get
and
paid to
pick up
be.
the coins.
We don't get paid to be curious.
There's no way to not be a cog. You're either a cog in the machine or you're a cog in the Shadowrunner world. Right?
That doesn't sound like the same. Although I will say you seemed pretty cash driven when we were knocking down that wall back there. But that doesn't sound like the same people. It doesn't sound like the same people. You don't even know the half of what I know, and there is, I don't know. This is the part where I would download on you some of the stuff that I'm gonna learn from Max later. But I would, but hang on, I can't do that quite yet because I guess I'd be like, well, and there, because yes, I live in the Emerald City. I grew up there. I've been there my whole life, and I just so happen to work for Horizon. So if there are things that I know that you don't know, and maybe I can help, is all I'm saying. So just tell me stuff. Can we go dance again? I'm tired.
Yes, sure. Feel free to dance as much as you like. But I believe you know everything we know at this point.
I think so. Now we're finally up to speed. Where's Nova? I miss her.
She got stuck. She works weekends.
Okay.
She had to pick up a couple extra shifts.
Yeah, she works the weekend shift.
Well, I mean, since we're going to be honest and open, you guys all saw the chat, so you all know that she's found an inn into the Emerald City. I don't know who she's told, but I mean, our Cole would know that she's now working in the Emerald City because you've been tearing apart her work visas, trying to rebuild new work visas for everyone else. I mean, if we're going to be sharing all the details, unless our Cole doesn't want to share those details.
Arkol defines it in everybody's best interest to share that information.
Cool beans.
Oh my god, she's gonna work up there? Where?
Now, that I don't have that information on hand, but
no, it's fine. I put it into a separate file for Aztec presence and all that stuff, and she and I have been talking. But it's at one of the Stuffer Shack number 2 is hiring her, and so she is being trained to do the overnight work.
Right.
So she's pulling doubles right now on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays while they get her trained and up to speed.
Oh, okay. Well, she's staying in the same vein, still stocking those blood bags, over at Stuffer Shack too. Just
I'll have to go visit her. I know right where that is. Okay.
Do you think she will let us use her discount?
Better.
Oh, for sure. For sure she will. Oh yeah. Yeah, I reckon she'll do that.
she could also probably just take it. I think that $5 discount goes everywhere.
Yeah, I'm guessing she'll turn a blind eye to that too, right?
I'm not
Also,
sure.
I'm guessing that
She's
Aztec.
serious about her job.
That Aztec discount is probably a hill of beans anyway.
Probably.
All right. So dancing, a bit more drinking, and then chill before going to get some fish early in the morning.
Sounds like the plan.
All right.
I think further in the night, once things have calmed down, our Cole would like to make the point to Techno Siren that I need you to know about earlier about being cogs. That is all about perspective. We don't see it that way, and the higher ups at these ridiculous mega corporations don't either. You can either see yourself as a cog, or they can see us as rats, or whatever you want. It doesn't particularly matter, but this is our way of at least being able to justify our existence in the world instead of just going along with it. If we tightened up, if we repented, then sure, we could. Like, we probably could live pretty, straight wage slave lives. It just, we don't want to. And we don't see ourselves as cogs. We're being hired, but we choose. We make that decision. And I just want you to, I understand anything that you're trying to do. And it just, that's how we see it.
I would put my hand on your face because I'm a little drunk at this point, and I would say, finally, some honesty. And that's a cog I can fight for.
That's so good. It's a little bit too much touching for this dark dystopian future, so we're not gonna tone it back and go back to I don't know. Imagine somebody stumbling onto a highway and getting run over at least twice. There we go. Now it's gone all dark again. Yeah.
We're back
that person
to the
had
grind.
no health and exactly. No, that person had no health care. There we go. All right. So the morning will come. I'm assuming you guys find a place to stay, either in downtown or head back to Steel Tiger's place. Make perception checks, both matrix-wise and regular, and astral, to kind of give a watch, especially going into the Lone Star territory, because beforehand there was a concern about activity.
I would certainly reach out to my buddy Billy Bob Bunsen.
How much do you want to spend? Money-wise, how much Nguyen you want to give him to have him spell out an answer?
I don't know how much. 200 new yen, 500
Okay.
new yen.
What 200 Nguyen, and what's the question?
What's got the B in Lone Star's bonnet? Why is everything ticking up?
And he will answer you. To be honest, I'm not really sure. All I know is that there was a big push for everybody pulling double shifts and double duty and double watch and getting all the drones out and running around. somebody high up started talking about something. Not really sure exactly what, but it came down pretty quickly. Everybody's got to start pulling doubles. My friend over at Kagami, they got the same kind of notification, but from what I understand, they didn't do diddly about it. They didn't care. Hooper is saying jumped the gun and started like doubling down on security. Knight Errant didn't, and no one's saying exactly why or what we're supposed to be looking for. We're supposed to be looking for something out of the ordinary. And man, like, it has been one hell of a night. I don't know what to tell you other than I'm drecking tired. I'm drecking tired because I've been at this way too long, and I still don't know what we're looking for. But we're running everybody's plates. We're doing a scan on everybody's IDs. As soon as I find out something, I'll let you know.
All right. Thanks, Bill Bob.
And by the way, 200 new yen was more than enough. He spills the beans. He doesn't know. But he does let you know that other security corporations in the area have been given the same kind of like ramp up your looking kind of scenario.
Hey, that's still good info.
Yep. Early morning comes. You guys are hanging out. First person responds is where you guys were at. You were hanging out where?
My place.
Tea shop. Got it. You're getting up early, refreshed, whatever that you're doing. Arcole, you still need to finish those extended dice rolls for getting those visas ready. But you've got all of them broken, so now it's just a copy and paste kind of scenario. But you're getting them done. Work visas for everybody. So that's probably what you were doing with the majority of your night while still hitting the jazzerciser kind of stuff going on. The early morning starts coming up, the rain stops outside, and it's about time to hit the road and start heading toward downtown because Pike's Place opens, bam, before the sun even comes up. Those boats are coming in through the channel, the canal. By the way, so if you didn't already know, the bay is mostly gone. The last of the bay still butts up to where Pike's Place is at, but the majority of the northern side of the bay is gone. That's where Bay City is at now. That whole area it's a long story, but global warming took place and the bay started to empty. And to keep the bay where it was at, they put dams and shored up things on either side. And so the bay still exists, fishing can still happen. Anyways, you get the idea. So Pike's Place still does what it does. Fish. Is there still a lot of fish? Yeah, there's a decent amount, but it costs a hell of a lot more. So where beforehand you might be dropping 100 new yen on several pounds of cod or something, now you're going to be dropping thousands of new yen on cod. Krill farming is still big business because the vert farms down in Bay City have krill bays as one of their big sources. They also have catfish, but catfish is more expensive as it's part of the whole agro-pesco vert farms. Anywho, those are a bunch of high-tech mumbo-jumbo. But when you guys arrive at Pike's Place at about, 4, 5, 6 a.m.? 6 a.m.?
Earlier.
4 a.m.?
Feel the good stuff, yeah.
4 a.m., you are not alone. There are lots of cars, lots of trucks, and lots of people, and a decent amount of guns. Armed individuals walking around, escorting their fish purchases to storage vehicles. It is big money transporting this fish all over the place. Decent amount of security pay as well. Not something that I imagine the rest of you would have known about, but when you arrive, the gentleman at the gate asked how you can help him because like the whole area of Pike's Place is pretty much quarantined off and let only certain people in. And you tell him you're here to buy blowfish. He's like, oh yeah, sure, park right over there. The boat just got in. They probably have some, but you're going to want to hustle because it might not stay that long. Like the amount of as soon as you tell him the prized possession of what you're going to buy, he's super excited. He goes ahead and sends over an icon that brings up the purchasing price and blowfish for 1 ounce of blowfish is 2,000 new yen. Yeah. You can make maybe a roll off of that, maybe 2 if you kind of stretch it out. That's a lot of money for some food. So you park Mama Bear, and I'm assuming everybody gets out for this event. Nobody has to see a gun license at all. Are you guys, and everybody either has a bodyguard with them, already having something out, or at least visible to show that they're packing. So, you guys begin.
Everybody's just walking around open carry.
Yeah, at a fish market at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Part of me was just like, I just walk in, just like, but no, like the mask, just everything just open.
Does it seem commonplace at all for people to be hiding their face?
What'd you say?
No, nobody's hiding their face here.
Okay. Then okay. No, we'll roll no mask in that case, or at least I will.
Okay. Good news, the cameras don't seem to be everywhere. They're at the front checking vehicles as the vehicles were coming in and out. And around the market itself, there seems to be a low amount of cameras. So maybe a good perception roll or stealth roll might allow you to avoid cameras if that's what your concern is.
I will absolutely do that. Could I roll Matrix Perception instead to like read what the cameras are seeing, what angle they're at, all of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can. And then that will provide, if anybody really feels like stealthing, a bonus for them to avoid being detected by the camera.
Got it. And Gross had a D6 or a D8?
He has 4 dice, so when he aids you, sorry, he has 8 dice, so when he aids you, he's able to give you 2 extra.
Oh, okay. So I can just go +2 on that. All right.
Yes.
2. I'm just gonna do a Matrix Perception because I do not know the algorithms. And then and then plus Gross's 2.
All right, so 8. That will translate into a success plus everybody else. If you go to make a stealth, if you're like, I want to avoid being seen on the cameras, you'll be making a stealth roll, and you would increase it by another 2. Does anybody want to take advantage of that and avoid being seen on the cameras?
I just want to cast physical mask on myself if I can.
You can.
I would like to just look like some dude with like a really impressive mustache and beard that I see at the whatever. Like I just see him.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make your roll, and then make your drain roll. You need at least 2 successes for pretty much this.
I get to add a 2 because my sword.
You do. I'm assuming you're physically masking the sword as well, right?
Yeah, the sword is my gun. That it like turns into looking like my gun at my hip. Yeah.
I love it. That's great.
I did make 2 hits, so and then my drain, which is go. I don't roll it. Yeah, that's fine.
Good. All right.
Great.
Heading into Pike's Place, you wander through the thick crowd of people. There aren't necessarily lines, except until you get closer to these booths, which are layouts of varieties of fish. For the most of what your life and existence in the last few months, years, or whatever it happens to be, this is the largest amount of fresh meat that you've seen in one place. There's a giant tank of krill off to one side, but for the most part, you can see that they're some sort of highfalutin type of krill because they're not tiny, they're kind of large. And then there's shrimp. And they're going for the thousands and the tens of thousands per pound or per ounce, depending upon. There's a sign in the distance, and there are armed orc guards near that sign, and the sign says caviar. Yeah. So, as you begin maneuvering through these crowds, looking at people, everybody's pretty much being nice. Everybody, oh, excuse me, pardon me, let me go through. Even the large burly troll with a shotgun on his head was like, pardon me, let me get through here with this crate of fish. I gotta get it, and everybody's just going about their business. A sign sitting in ice passing by one of these stands, and there's multiples of them. It says Blowfish on it, but it's all empty. As I'm assuming that Techno Siren, you're the face of this operation, or is somebody else the face of this operation?
Oh, by all means,
I
Technosiren.
I think it should be Technosiren, considering that right now she's a burly mustached man.
I stroll right up and I go, where's the store guy out here? Store guy, where are you, store guy?
A large, burly man with thick arms covered with hair and a mustache that stretches from under his nose all the way to his ears, and his head has got this flat shape all about it. He turns, hey, how's it going? What you looking for? What you need?
Yes, bro. Stash life, dude. Stash life. And I try to give him a cool bro handshake.
All right, he reaches back out with his thick, meaty fingers, and he yeah. What are you looking for?
Man, I was hoping to catch some of this blowfish. This empty table. What's going on here, dude?
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. Hang on a minute. And he turns and he goes behind the counter and he opens it up and he goes, do you got an idea how much you're looking for? And with a gentle little metal hook, he brings a blowfish up and he sets it into the ice. We don't normally leave it sitting out there. Most people are pretty eager to just grab and run. Even though it was poison enough to kill you, they just...
You gotta cut it right. That's what I hear.
Cut it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much are you interested in?
Well, I am looking for enough to enjoy, my friend. I think that, what do you think? Make some sushi out of it? Like an ounce, dude? I don't know.
I mean, if you want to go on the light side and you're just looking for some taste or something, an ounce is going to get you what you want. But if you're looking to put on a party or something, and you want a couple of rolls to create, I would aim for about 4 ounces myself. Now, me, I don't deal with blowfish, and I only know one guy who does. So, I mean, I would direct you to the... Notes. It's a sushi place called the Gilded Fin. There's a guy there, he does a lot of really great stuff. He deals with this too, so I mean, that would be the guy. But I would suggest if you're putting on a party, about 4 ounces. You're only gonna want to put about a half an ounce per roll. You could get about 8 rolls out of it. And you're gonna want to put on that with something like a nice vegetable mix to go along with it. And I'm sure that if you're buying blowfish, you know where to get your veggies from.
Yeah, bro.
Of course.
And then I'm really cool to him, and then I look over my shoulder at the guys behind me, and I'm like, oh my god, we want to have a party? Are we gonna have a party?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I turn back over, and I'm like, yeah, so. And then I turn back over my shoulder and I go, I only have 2,000 new yen. What have you got on you? What's happening?
Just buy the whole fish. How much is the whole fish?
How much is the whole fish, dude?
I don't know how much a blowfish weighs.
Well, I mean, how much it weighs versus how much is usable.
How much you actually get out of it.
Yeah.
There's very little you can get out of it. So The Simpsons has told me.
Is it crazy? I also put that up in The Simpsons.
Yeah. That's how I know about blowfish, is The Simpsons episode.
Amazing.
So, how much it weighs is the average blowfish can easily weigh up to about 30 pounds. And so you only need a few ounces. So this is a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many
So,
how many
he said
ounces
we
are
need,
available for the game?
You want to get more than 4 ounces?
We only live once, right?
Oh my god, this is gonna be an amazing party! Okay. So, but then how, so if you said 30 pounds? No.
Yeah, but the whole, that's like the fish. It's total fish. That's not like bones and eyes and skin, but that's not the meat.
Uh-huh. But we'd have to pay for 30 ounces? Or 30 pounds? No.
Now, if you want the whole thing, he's just gonna butcher it right here.
Okay.
We'll pick out a number. I'll say like the whole thing butchered is gonna cost about 10,000.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah,
sound?
I just don't have that much nuyen on me.
You don't, but the man standing next to you does.
I do. I will purchase the fish.
All right, so as soon as that crid stick comes out, the guy grabs a piece of wood, slides it over, grabs the blowfish, and just pulls out some brown paper, and with skill, he deftly removes parts of the blowfish, pushes the body back to one side, wraps it up, tapes it, puts a mark onto it, takes your cred stick, runs it by his comm link, ching, 10K, disappears as he hands you over 10 ounces of blowfish.
I appreciate it. Earlier you were talking about there was only one guy you would trust to prepare it.
Oh yeah. Trying to see if we can find his name real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, it's a sushi master at the Gilded Fin. Great guy.
At the Gilded Fin, you said. And what was your name, my ass? So I could let him know who sent us his way.
He looks to you. Oh, I don't have a name. I don't have a name, and nobody else down here does.
Understood. Well then, I hope you have a wonderful day, sir. With the fish.
All right.
Oh my god, who are we inviting to this party? I still look like a big dude and I'm doing this. Who's it coming to the party?
First we need to go visit the sushi master. I think it's just gonna be us, right? Do you really want to share it with anybody else?
I would with Kiki if I could, but anyway.
Oh, I mean...
She's so far away, she can't come.
Okay.
It's scary over there. It's like scary.
Listen, she probably already heard us talking about the party. If she wanted to be here, she would.
That's actually probably pretty true.
And scary at the same time.
Also
The
scary.
Gilded Fin is probably about 4 or 5 dozen blocks away into downtown, and not a hard drive either. This early in the morning, it is easy cruising through the streets. You find the Gilded Fin. Being that it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, it's not open. Who would have thought? Sushi place open at 5 a.m. You guys did.
Well, and I'm back to looking like me again, and I have like these giant sunglasses on because it's like too early. Like actually too early.
Convoy is also wearing sunglasses. We did have a night of drinking.
Yeah.
Followed by a very early morning.
Can we take a
In fact,
nap?
Convoy's not even driving. He's got his seat reclined and he's letting Mama Bear drive.
Okay. Well, Mama Bear has arrived, and at this point in time, place isn't open. In fact, it doesn't open till 8 a.m. So you got like 3 hours to burn.
Do we have... We don't have... Does Mama Bear come equipped with an ice box or a fridge or anything that can keep this fish semi-safe? Because we're already kind of playing with fire.
I know where there's a nice refrigerated truck.
Where?
In the middle of that retention pond. But yeah, no, we can just take it back.
I'm sure you could pass by a stuffer shack, grab a styrofoam cooler, and throw some ice packs into it. Drop about 100 new yen and have a setup that's going to be just fine to keep your 10 ounces of blowfish nice and chilled. So let's just hit the fast forward button. 8 a.m. rolls around. You guys have had a chance to either crash out or keep vegging out, hitting the no-dos and the long hauls and cranking out some work visas. When aid comes, the sign outside changes from being dim to going open, open, and then a little fish swims by.
I
Open.
didn't even see anybody go in. That's weird.
Nope. Nobody went in. And it's a nice little decor. It's got like a red face to the building, couple of windows, like 3 or 4 windows down, and only one little door that walks in. And it definitely looks like a little hole-in-the-wall place.
But they live there.
It's multiple stories, and this is in the downtown area, so, I mean, good possibility. Bars over the windows, clean streets. Couple of delivery drones. Bars over the windows. Couple of drones passing by, delivery drones.
Well, shall
Sushi
we?
at 8 a.m. Party by 9.
So I would grab the cooler and then head up to the shop.
All right. Opening doors, stepping in. Just like the outside of the building, the inside of the building is long. Sets of windows on either side, 2 to 1, 1 to the other, something like that. Little booths and tables, booths to the wall, a few tables in the middle bit, and there's what are those salad buffet carts sitting in the middle with the plastic overhang. It's not filled, there's nothing in it, just ice. A couple of people are moving about doing stuff. And then along the back area of this really long restaurant, you can see the sushi counter is lit up. It's mostly empty, save for like people prepping and whatnot. As you walk in, a tired, haggard-looking Asian man walks up and says, "Morning. We have coffee ready, and we can get a couple of things started. Breakfast menu," and he hands you an icon to open up on your comm links. He shows you like the little QR code that you can scan, or offers the icon for your options to look at breakfast stuff. Booth or table?
What'd you
Say that again.
I was just like, oh yeah, he's just like looking at the menu. I was like, oh, what's good today?
Today's soup of option is clear soup, and right now we are waiting for our delivery people to bring back some of our selection for our sushi rolls. The menu shows soy and krill patty, soy and krill material, but if you're looking to spend a little bit more nuyen, we will have real fish here shortly.
Do you guys prepare bring-ins?
Yes. He says in a very quizzical way, yes. Yes, we can.
How are you at preparing fugu? Or blowfish?
He kind of takes a pause for a minute. It is a rare occasion that somebody asks for such a thing. But we can make that happen. Please, come with me. Let's not waste our time out here. Let's go back to the sushi bar and meet Usagi. He is my sushi master. You go to the back, and Usagi is an elderly Asian man. Has all the slow movement, choreographed kind of like actions as he is setting things up behind, and big thick Coke bottle glasses, bit of dermal cyberware of some type on the outside of his skull to one side, and he looks up and he goes, "Oh, good morning." And the man who's been talking to you says, they have brought in and are looking for blowfish. He goes, "No blowfish today. Too expensive." He goes, "I know, but," and he makes a hand gesture to the four of you.
He's gonna open up the case, and it's gonna start glowing like the case at the end of Pulp Fiction. Just whoa. We have brought some of our own.
The old man gives a nod. "Ah, yes," and he reaches up to above the plexiglass to retrieve He takes it and he sets it down and goes, here. And he pulls out rolled up pieces of paper and says, look over the ingredients. My suggestions are at the top. Go have a seat. Have some sake, coffee, ocha. I will work. Just put it onto Matrix and I will let you know. And everything else will be taken care of. But I'm going to keep at least, 1 ounce for myself. Is that okay?
But of course.
He nods. As you are paying attention to a bunch of stuff, the man who's been trying to sit you has disappeared, and now there's a woman there, and she's helping you sit down, and she's taking your orders of water, sake, ocha, coffee, whatever it is that you're looking for. And as you guys are getting organized, and he's got the rice going, and he's back there, he's doing his magic and whatnot, the manager, the man who is trying to sit you, comes walking back out, and he holds the curtain back. And from behind in the back room, your Johnson comes walking out.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he gives you a nod from a distance. He starts walking towards your table. Morning, Still Tiger. Good to see you.
Good morning. Here, have a seat.
Of course. And we're going to take a break, go to our 10-minute, and we'll come back and it'll give us a chance to kind of start closing the door on what the hell's going on with the job.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, Gen Con glitchers. That's what I'm calling you now. I've decided. Let you know. Don't forget to drop a hashtag RemPC in the chat for your chance to win a copy of Sea of War. You can get extra additional entries if you subscribe to Gen Con TV. And don't forget that for every 100 bits you donate, you get another entry. And don't forget, you can give those bits to us so we don't die. Check your bits, and we'll see you in a bit.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off. That way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood. We mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
What a spell!
Spells.
Spell!
Spells.
She says spell like 92 times. Spell, 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 spell,
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're just gonna start. Like whatever. There's a description. You guys should be paying attention at this point in time. I can't afford to keep doing the recap. Catch up! Hit the rewind button. Go back. Anywho.
Is there a rewind button?
I don't know. I rarely get a chance to watch my own stuff. That's a lie. I do watch my own stuff, and then I cry when I go like, I made a mistake.
What? No tears in
That's
football.
not true. Max never makes mistakes.
Oh.
He just makes adjustments.
Somebody's looking to garner an edge since they're,
I know, right?
So the Johnson walks out. He greets you. He has a seat, and there's no bodyguards. The 2 gigantic orcs that you've seen him with aren't here. So he seems at least safe in this environment enough to approach and sit at the table with you guys. I recognize all about him, and he points toward Techno Siren.
Oh, I don't look like the dude anymore.
Oh, I don't remember you saying that you dropped
That's
the
okay.
physical mask.
I
Okay,
did.
cool.
I dropped it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he wouldn't have said that. The employer contacted me about 4 days ago and wanted me to meet, which was outside of the norm. And there was definitely a feeling that the job had been canceled and my continued employment in any way, shape, or form was a hazard to me. So I left post haste, and I have not reached back out to them because I don't need an employer making such actions. You can understand that it would not do me any. He chuckles. It would not do me much good if employers killed their Johnsons.
Yeah, I'm definitely pro not killing our Johnsons.
I'm not sure what changed, but I did do some looking around. Apparently, and this is between us, there is no devices in here, and there is a decent quality of white noise being generated, so recording devices aren't going to get a good description on this. The Johnson made some sort of action with a dragon. Sorry, he says, that's the wrong words. He goes, the employer made some sort of actions with a dragon that I have found through some preliminary investigation. The dragon goes by the name of Vetar Russ. Man, Max is butchering the name now. Vetraras. Yeah. I'm not sure how this dragon fits into the whole scheme, but as soon as the employer began making direct contacts with this dragon, that's when things changed. I found more details out, but I'm assuming that you have questions.
Yes. So, what's been going on with Lone Star presence? Everybody seems to be on edge. Do they have an inkling that we're up to something?
I'm not sure that's related to anything what we're doing. At least I'm not 100% sure. Are you aware of the Allurans? They recently began pulling out of the city. There was a broadcast last night. One second. He plays with his comm, and in AR, as well as on his comm, a broadcast starts playing, a news agency. Hi, this is Kessler of Channel 7. We've got some interesting news taking place. Something, blah, blah, blah. And our visiting neighbors from the nearby solar system who have been, so-and-so. And he starts talking about the aliens. Now, for the majority of this game, and the majority of your lives, you have never 0% ran across a single one of these Allurans. That's a name that's been given to them. That's not necessarily what they call themselves, but that's the name they are given by the people to kind of describe, because they just basically look like slightly taller humans with off-colored skin. And majority of times, they're very attractive or alluring. Well, anyways, the guy in the broadcast continues to talk about how they just started packing their shit up sometime last night. People started, these Allurans, these aliens, started all going back to that ship, like booking flights and packing bags. Not just one or two or three, but hundreds. In Seattle, Washington, Chicago, and a variety of other different places. And he says, whatever happened with that, my contacts in Lone Star tell me that spurred concern that they were all heading back to their ship. Even dignitaries in political positions. And so it's not just here. It's all over the world that security companies are a bit heightened after this worldwide movement by these people from another place. So I'm not sure what that is, but I don't think it has anything to do with what we're doing.
Now, why would a bunch of aliens decide now's the time to get?
He shrugs. I don't know.
Seems significant.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of pauses for a moment. I don't see how. Interesting enough. And the guy keeps spouting, and he's saying, that all of this took place. Like, it was just seems everybody, like the aliens all decided, hey, we're gonna leave like now. And they're all starting to pack their stuff up and like head in one given direction. And eyewitness accounts are like, hey, around 9:30 last night, this started happening. It was right after like 9 o'clock or so. And so like several different accounts say that, hey, sometime around 9 to 9:30 or so, the all the aliens who have been visiting for the last 15 years decided, let's pack our shit up and go home. Out of the blue.
And nobody talked to any of them?
Yeah, they have been. They said, "Oh, well, we all got to go back to our ship. We all got to." And during the interview, it's like, "Oh, hey, I got a phone call. It's from like my boss at the back of the ship said you got to come home," or "I just really miss my family and we're going to go home." But after the first few waves of people, like all of it the same, people are like, "No, that can't be possible." The gig's up. What's the real case? But they started to clam up and they stopped answering questions, and so they're just like, "We've just got to go."
Was it ever pre-established that they had any form of mental link or anything like that, or like heightened senses?
These creatures, these visitors from another place, do have a heightened sense of awareness of sorts, which is kind of cool. They are not they can have magical abilities. They are not very good with cyberware. Especially the cyberware from our planet. They have their own like little rinky-dink things. They can get comm links and whatnot installed and data jacks. They don't do so well in the Matrix and and whatnot, but they can't have like full cybernetic bodies. That just doesn't work. Their nervous system doesn't respond as well and stuff like that. But for the most part, no, there's not some sort of like neural net or hive mind mentality. They've never responded in such a strange way.
Is there like a asteroid about to hit the planet or something? He's going to start scanning like the NASA website if NASA still exists.
Sure. Yes, there's always. Well, I mean, conspiracy sites will. NASA too. Conspiracy websites will always say there's a giant asteroid about to hit the Earth. What is NASA going to do now? This one can't be stopped. Where are the dragons? Why won't they come help us from this giant asteroid?
Well, but speaking of dragons, doesn't it feel kind of odd that once a dragon gets involved with somebody who's trying to blow up an elevator to space, that all of the aliens are like, bye? Like, what do we know about this dragon?
The Johnson responds, I am not sure. There are lots of questions. Since most dragons disappeared several years ago, Veritros also disappeared and was last seen 8 years ago. When she was last seen, it was mostly in working with a corporation that is a subsidiary of Horizon. They were working on undisclosed activities, which, by the way, this is a segue, the thing that you and I are going to talk about. Ha ha ha. Yeah. So anyways, and I do not have those kind of contacts to find out that information. But I do know that this dragon did have, and then some activities with, and then disappeared along suit with all the other dragons and the great dragons, and now has reappeared related to this job. Why? I am not sure.
Well, quick check on the timeline, though. So, and I'm sorry that I'm not as solid on the lore, but like the dragons disappeared. How long before or after the Illurans got here?
So the dragons disappearing and the Allurans arriving, maybe the same time-ish. The Allurans have been here for about 15, 20 years, let's say. The dragons have been disappeared for about 15 and less years. So like Veritros disappeared about 8 years ago before she stopped showing up to public events and stuff like that. So depending upon where you look at, like the Allurans arrived, their ship crashed. You know, they've been stuck here. That's a definitive point in time. Compared to that, maybe a dragon or two disappeared before their arrival, and then one or two after, and then a few more, and a few more, and then consequently, most people say most dragons started disappearing about 15 years ago. So there's probably about a 3 to 4 year gap between the Allurans arriving and all the dragons disappearing. Again, the dragon disappearing is a kind of sort of, this is the time when it happened.
More of a correlation than a causation.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'd only know if we had talked to them, and I don't know any Allurans. Did you all ever meet any?
No.
No.
Did you? And I look at the Johnson. Have you ever met one?
I was in the airport when one passed me by, and I will have to admit they are, as described, attractive and definitely attention-grabbing.
Hotties, got it.
On a side note, you know that in the Emerald City above, there are a few Allurans that live there. You have never met them. You've never met them, but you know that you lived in an area nearby them. That doesn't mean you can't figure out where that is. You guys are smart enough to do that kind of stuff.
So wait, this report that we watched, they said that it was coming from all over. Does that mean that I know that maybe those few people left from the Emerald City, or has it been silent there?
You wouldn't know that unless you have a contact that would know them, or you have the opportunity to go digging around in data files and stuff like that once you get behind the firewall, which would be something our Cole could do once he gets up to the Emerald City.
Okay. Well then, anyway, I mean, if it's not related to this, then why are they being such bullies about these people leaving? They just want to go home. That's weird.
He shrugs. He says, but that seems to be the reason that security is heightened. And it's not just here. It's everywhere. Which makes it worse for what we're doing. And he looks to Steel Tiger, we're still going forward.
That is my plan, unless there are any objections. He looks towards Technosire.
I'm with you. Let's go.
Yeah, we still plan on doing the job, it looks like. Were you still able to come across explosives?
I am, and that was to be provided by Yakomi. I know the location where they're at. I do not know if I'll still easily have access to those explosives. It might require a little extra work to get a hold of them. I'm assuming that you either have decided to hood this one out, or someone else is picking up the tab. If you're hooding this one out, then I'll give you the directions to where the explosive's at and you can resolve it yourself. If someone else is picking up the tab, I'm sure I can make efforts to pick it up myself. Otherwise, I'll still send the information over to you and you can swing by and pick up the package.
Yeah, well, either way, yeah, we need the address, correct?
He gives a nod.
All right, so just go ahead and send me the address and that.
He does so. He pulls up his comm, takes a moment, punches some buttons, and discreetly sends you a message that Arcole then copies and then deletes and cleans up and scrubs everything between here and there. In that, you'll have an address and what is currently the passcode for the Maglunks. I don't know how long it's going to be good for. I don't know if Yokomi has the ability to change any of that information. You'll have to make that choice.
I appreciate this.
I'm no longer part of this. I'm no longer getting paid. But at the same time, I feel like I should be doing some hooding.
Can I do a judge intentions roll on this guy, since he was like, I'm not getting paid and I'm not technically in on this, as to like why he's still helping us then? Is he like trying to harm us or something?
Yes, you can. It's a judge intent roll.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll that. Go, baby, go.
Okay. So you get an idea. His end of this is he's not getting paid anymore. His boss just took his whole job away from him. Period. It's done. It's over with. He's not going to make any money. There's no reason this... I'm sure he could probably sell this to another market and find somebody who wants the explosives. But one of the reasons he gets into this business is trying to do the right thing. Maybe.
Okay.
But he definitely doesn't have a payday anymore, so
it's
what
not
good
like
is...
double cross coming down the line.
Yeah, it feels more along the lines of, my boss just fucked me up. My boss just fragged me over. My boss fragged me over, so I'm going to frag my boss over.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Neat. Thanks.
Was there anything else we needed?
Are you gonna come to our party later? This morning we're partying at 9 right here, and I've got like this bottle of plum wine that I ordered. I'm gonna sit out on the table.
Yes, I can stay, and if you do not if you enjoy my company, I will definitely stay.
We got this really nice blowfish.
So I heard. This is a dangerous delicacy. I will. So, just to clarify, he's going to give you the directions, information, the passcodes to get the bomb, because he wants you to have it for free, apparently. The mage has done a judge intent and doesn't feel that he's steering you wrong. You guys can also kind of follow up if you want to do a judge intent as well, but for the most part, he's just getting rid of the job. And 2, he's about to have blowfish. This is an expensive delicacy, so... Yeah, I mean, this guy has very little to lose. You learned that the security at Heighten has little to nothing to do with you guys, so cool with that. It's going to make job a little bit harder moving forward, but hey, at least it's not you.
Someone not having a payday would definitely make our call somewhat suspicious.
You should be suspicious.
I'm extra suspicious because you said it at your...
You should always be suspicious. Legwork.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 9. Thank goodness. Better than a 5. So, yeah, this guy's got to have a fish in this somewhere. So do you want to dig through his phone?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's going to be... start off with a probe.
Now, does that falls under
Matrix action? Matrix major action.
So,
probe.
Oh well, under hacking, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Then expertise. 6 hits.
Okay. And now backdoor entry, because you got in. You've got the probe open. You've opened a door into his device.
Nine hits.
Okay, I'm going to roll for his firewall and his phone is only a 4, so that's going to be 8, so it could buy 4 because it's just a device. It's not actively defending. Yeah, you're in. not only did he not get paid, he was not expecting to see payment until you guys had secured access to Emerald City. Part of the deal was him making sure you got onto Emerald City, got the job started. That's when he would see his first paycheck. So he, knowing Yakomi, was literally waiting for you guys to get onto Emerald City so that he even saw anything. And he was supposed to be paid $5,000 just for you guys getting onto Emerald City. So he was waiting for his first payday, and it never came. Also, he just recently got finished moving some stocks and whatnot around, and a lot of them had to kind of like association with Horizon, and so he's pulling out money out of the Horizon company and moving his money elsewhere. Other than that, that's all you got. The guy just basically got hosed over, and yeah.
Okay. So he's not trying to kill us. He's just disgruntled employee.
I feel like that's more than reason enough for our call, personally. Just little touch of just like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to write a program or leave anything in his phone for later, like, because you're in, like a tracking program or something? Or
Yeah. No. Is there
Jason.
any way to bug it?
Yeah, you can bug it.
Do I need to make any roll for that or continued?
Electronics plus logic, and you're looking to beat his firewall of 4.
Now this would fit under computer because I have computer and hardware.
Oh, then yeah, do computer. Oh, you missed it by 1.
Dang. Should have gotten Grouse to help me out with that one.
You still can drop 2 more dice for Grouse. That's fine. You still need 4.
Got 4.
Perfect. All right. So, what do you want the phone to do?
I want it to. I'd like to give it a list of tags to look out for, specifically with Horizon. I'm sure he's going to be talking about Horizon a good portion.
Sure.
But just anything tagged Horizon or anything associated with the sort. And also specifically with any names that he may have for our group.
Sure. Okay. You run through some lists and then drop that in there. It's in. So if the phone picks up any of those details, it'll send you a message going, hey, he just did this. Hey, he just did that. Now, somebody who's smart and another hacker can watch that happen and then can trace and burn it onto you. But you just have to be ready for when that hits the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So sushi rolls, blowfish sushi rolls, plum wine, sake, ocha. You guys are having a definite nice early morning kind of fixer.
I'm doing a little bit of the 2-step that we learned at the Texas place last night in the aisles between the tables.
Okay. Sounds good. Definitely getting some relaxing in, considering there's a lot ahead of you guys.
How is just since I'm generally looking at the Matrix, is there any major activity going on since we had left, or is it looking okay? Should I just roll a perception right now?
You're not. I don't understand what you're asking for. You seemed rather vague.
What's the OS looking like? Overwatch.
The Overwatch score.
Or baby monitor.
Baby monitor. Oh, okay. I see what you asked. No, you're fine. The area's fine.
All right.
It's running around like at 0s and 1s because you popped into his phone, you did what you're gonna do, you pop back out, problem solved, not a big deal, and nothing has swooped in the area. Nobody's looking around. It's just quiet.
Got it. Then our Cole is drinking as well this time.
Cool. Yeah, so he wants to hang out, party, blowfish, have sushi. and then at some point he's going to excuse himself, and you guys can continue on to whatever else you're looking for. He's giving you access to where the bomb's at.
We should definitely go look for bombs after we've been drinking at 9 a.m. This sounds like a great idea. Let's go.
Probably need to take a nap. Sleep this off a touch.
No, we should go right now, Steel. I'm telling you, you gotta strike while the iron is hot.
You gotta be loose, right? You gotta be loose when you're dealing with the bombs, because if you got too much tension.
Nah, man.
Kaboom, you know?
We gotta be going into this. There's a mighty good chance that this is a trap walking in here.
Yeah.
And we should be at our best.
Yeah, that's what you wait. That's what you wait for. That's you just wait for the bomb to explode. Yeah, there's a name for that. It's called a time bomb, and then our coal passes out on the table.
He better not throw up in my truck.
Still Tiger's gonna pay for the tab, and then he's gonna pick up our coal, and he's gonna carry him over to Mama Bear. Let's get this guy home.
Yeah, once he wakes up, we'll have him take a look at the place, and I'll send some recon over.
Okay.
Eyes on the place.
All right. Well, it's 11:15 in the real world here on the East Coast, and getting some legwork started definitely seems like something we can do at the beginning of something else. I think this is a good place to kind of stop. I think we got one more commercial to do. We can come back. We can find out who won, say a few little bits and pieces, and then go from there. What do y'all think?
Yes, this is your last chance, Gen Con Glitchers, to win your copy of Red's game, Sea of War. Don't forget to drop that hashtag RemPC in the chat, and we will select a winner. That winner will be reached out via Twitch Whispers. Remember that if you subscribe to Gen Con TV, that'll give you extra entries, as well as donating bits. Hashtag RemPC, get it!
Woo!
Yeet.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
All right. Welcome back, Gen Con Glitchers. We are going to announce the winner of the copy of Sea of War. And our winner tonight is Dwarez1. Check the chat in case I pronounced it incorrectly. But you are the winner of Sea of War. Keep an eye on your Twitch Whispers. That's where we will reach out to you.
Congratulations. That is awesome. So, recap for tonight. Groups decided to move forward. They're going to keep doing the job because they're getting paid, because they feel it's the right thing to do. Johnson is kind of like on their side with this, so he's already turned over the information he has. You know, there was lots of questions, a little bit of decent amount of conflict as the players had a chance to kind of like talk and bring in bits and pieces of themselves as they studied deep into like what it means to do the hooding versus, you know, the job. And a lot of other good questions came about, as well as, you know, players had a chance to let their hair down and do some partying. I normally award 3 to 5 karma. Definitely with some good role playing tonight, I'm going to award 6 karma for everything. There were some really good moments, and lots of really good like little story bits from Arcole. Like last time, if you watched last session, Steel Tiger had this really good like moment too. So I mean, you guys have definitely got a good vibe going. And our next session is in about 2 weeks, and I look forward to having everybody back because I look forward to seeing how you guys really start digging into this complicated legwork on a job you literally know nothing about, while using work visas to pretend to be normal blue-collared workers sneaking into a high security. Wow, it's going to be great. It's going to be... Yes! You gotta steal a bomb. You're gonna steal a bomb. Like, seriously. Where are you gonna put it? You gotta think of these things. You can't just put it in a lunchbox and be like, that's okay. Like, question mark.
That was my idea, too.
Put it on a lunchbox full of C4.
Nobody would think.
I'm sure somebody...
Wait, a disco ball. We could put it in a disco ball. That would be fun.
Ooh. You know, I'm not
or
gonna say
pinata?
You get to choose. You get to choose. You can figure it out however you guys want to do it. But in about 2 weeks, we're going to definitely delve into those questions. So tune in at that point in time for the next Emerald Glitch. Other than that, I want to say goodnight. Does anybody got anything they need to pitch before we go? Ooh.
Any DMs need plugging currently?
I'll plug myself. I'm running Shadowrun and other games. Oh, yeah. Braveheart. Hey, if you like what I do and you want me to be your GM, do something. What's the thing I want them to do?
You want to go to roughmagicgames.com.
Yeah!
And read not just book a game.
Roughmagic.com.
Yeah, roughmagicgames.com. If you want to play some tabletop role-playing games, you don't have the time to be the game master yourself, or you don't have a friend that is willing to do the work, you can reach out to us, and we'll do it for you in a professional, fun, and entertaining manner.
Yeah, and there's more than one person in this game that does all that stuff. So, like, Christian, don't you run games?
I do. I do.
What about a spellcaster over here? I don't know.
I dabble.
You dabble. So yeah, if you want to schedule an adventure, reach out to us, and bam, here we are. Yeah, and if you're in the Jacksonville area, bam, I'm doing a. Here's mine. If you're in the Jacksonville area, I am running a game at a place called. Oh, that's right. They don't allow me to do stuff. Give me permissions. No, don't give me permissions. I'm probably denied permissions for a good reason. If you're in the Jacksonville area and looking to sit at a table and have some fun with me, I'm going to be running a game at the Dark Bar later in the month of January. That's all I got.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Much love, everybody.
Yay.
Thanks for a great game.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm enjoying you guys. It's a lot of fun. Like I told you, when I hang out with my other Game Master friends, I love to geek out about the little things that we're doing. They love hearing about it. All right. To the audience, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you guys in 2 weeks.
And we hope you guys had a great new year.
Yeah.